George is heavy into the red dirt scene. I don't know, though, that you're into the Nashville heavy metal scene. Is this something that you've ever...
Don't know much about it, no.
Ever looked into? Well, there's one heavy metal band that has had some,
Issues?
something very disturbing happen to them. It's a band called Llorona. When it has two LLs in the front of it, like that's
Spanish,
Llano Estacado, right?
Yeah.
So this is Llorona. Llorona.
Mabes.
Nobody speaks Spanish on this crew?
See, yeah, if it's
Llorona.
Llorona.
If they pronounce it that way, yeah.
Correct.
They do pronounce it that way? Do you know this band?
No, I'm saying if they do, it would be Llorona.
Oh.
But, George, that town in the hill country where you used to live, it's not Llano.
No, it's Llano.
It's Laurel.
It's Laurel.
Pronunciation.
Okay, so this band had to put out a statement that they are parting ways with their vocalist because he got drunk and admitted something to the rest of the band members in a text. And they said due to what he admitted to, that they could no longer have him as the vocalist. So he had developed an obsession with one of the other members' girlfriends.
Oh, no.
This is the statement they put out. We've decided to part ways with our vocalist Diego due to admission of very disturbing and concerning behavior towards one of our band members and their partner. He has admitted to being obsessed with said partner and has been attempting to sabotage their relationship by cutting pre-workout he frequently gifts from his job with high amounts of estrogen in them. He has been attempting to force a transition on the other male for the last 5 months in hopes that it would give him the opportunity to swoop in once he looked stronger and more manly in comparison.
I was going to say,
wow.
We need to review this. Maybe it's not that bad, but yeah, I don't think you ever get over that one.
This tampering has caused confusion and thousands of dollars in medical bills in the past months trying to figure out what was wrong. We would not know any of this unless Diego hadn't gotten way too intoxicated and outed himself, and then stated an admission to all of this via text. There are many more disgusting details that have been left out for the sake of privacy and general censorship. So, and then the guy that he did this to in the band, he also issued a statement on social media. He said that Diego has easy access to steroids and hormones because of his gym practices. I'm going to be seeing an endocrinologist over the next few months to track my hormonal fluctuations.
Because he's full up of estrogen.
To see if my estrogen levels are extremely heightened and go back to normal over time. I've had physical changes from the hormones besides stomach ulcers, weight loss, and muscle fatigue that I will not get into, as well as notable mental changes.
Wow, that is terrible.
So incredibly sorry.
That guy needs to go to prison.
The victim? Why would you do that? Just because he's hot now?
Diego. How was Diego able to dose this guy?
Because of the pre-workout. I guess Diego had some other job or worked for some other company or had a connection to it that he got these free samples of pre-workout.
Okay.
And so he would gift them to friends. Well, he would gift it to this other band member, but he would put estrogen. He would cut it with lots of estrogen. And the other band member was using this as his pre-workout and didn't know that he was being dosed with all this estrogen.
Good God.
And it's caused confusion and
what would the charge
feeling
be?
Like a woman. I think it's poisoning, right?
Yeah.
It's some
bodily harm charge.
The band member continued, I will also be getting the last batch of pre-workout he gave me tested for estrogen. I have about 2 to 3 full cups of it left. He will not pass off what he admitted to as a joke or confusion, even in a state of drunkenness. What he did is disgusting and has had an immense negative effect on my life.
Wow. All to get a girl?
Yeah. He was
Man.
going to feminize his competition, which was the original name of our theme song, wasn't it?
Yes.
No, it was Tigerize the competition.
Okay, all right, gotcha. I knew it was something like that.
Well, I guess they're looking for a new lead singer.
Yeah.
I was a classically trained singer.
Uh-oh, Daddy's
already looking for a new gig.
He's looking forward to the feminization, becoming a lead singer. Yeah, it's so... Now, I've been trying to do this to George for a while. I've been trying to cut your morning coffee with estrogen just to make you less aggressive towards me.
That's
It's
okay.
nothing to joke about.
I don't care.
Nothing to joke about.
I mean, on the creative scale of how to steal somebody's
Here's
woman,
Craig giving some props.
this
He's just
guy,
giving him some points for that.
he did go above and beyond in coming up with a new idea, but wow, is it evil.
Tyler asked me what the woman looked like before he was going to pass judgment.
Maybe we need to see
Gosh,
first.
It's not a woman. It's a man. Oh, you're talking about the girlfriend.
Yeah,
I mean,
the
what if
girlfriend.
she's...
Yeah, I don't know. They didn't include... I don't know. Do a
Guys
Google,
do crazy things,
Google
obviously.
image search for
We need all evidence.
Yarona. I'm going to add a couple L's in front of my name. Because my name in Spanish means fat, right? Gordo? Doesn't that mean fat? So I need to change that.
What was the name of this band?
Yarona.
Yarona
Don't
with
say
two
it for
L's.
Trying to...
Rona or Rono?
Rona. Like
Yeah.
Corona, but with two L's instead of the C.
I don't know if she was worth all that.
Dude.
No, well, my point is nobody is.
That's
You're
not the
acting
way
like I've
you
seen
meant
a-
it. So you know that's not the way
You're
you meant
acting
it.
like I've seen a picture or something.
You have, haven't you? What are you looking at over there, George?
Yeah. I
Is
don't-
she like a heavy set, tatted up woman? Looks like
No,
she's
she's...
way too
no.
into Wicca. Oh, wait, that's the girl?
I think so.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh. What?
I don't
She
know
looks-
that it's
she's
worth
attractive.
going to prison over.
No. It's beyond that, it's just wrong. Craig? I know you always
It
are
was
just thinking of
Tyler's
consequences.
thing.
I'm thinking
He
of
was the one who
morality.
I'm
see
the
what
one
she
who's
looked
been
like.
saying he needs to go to prison.
Yeah, put him in jail.
Poor guy. So what happens? I guess it doesn't go into details what the physical changes were that he underwent, but if you take estrogen, what happens to you as a guy, right? You start gaining fat and
Breasts.
and breasticles, which, like,
You'd like?
I'm just saying if it's a good, like, you don't want man boobs, but if you had like an awesome rack,
Something extra to play with?
oh,
Jugs.
Maybe I ought to look into it, Gordon.
I mean, isn't that the ultimate?
I guess it is for you.
Okay, would you rather be a hot man with a
Whatever this is, we are not
Vagina.
answering. You
No,
have
you
to
have to
answer.
answer. You have to answer because
you
it's
never
broadcast.
answer these, and I'm
no,
tired of
you have to
answering
answer
them.
because of broadcast.
You do.
A hot man with a vagina, or a hot woman with a panis. You have to choose because you're about to join this band. Let's say
It's my brain that's in that body?
yes,
My current brain
Yes.
in that body?
yes.
Just a tip.
Guess I'd be a man with a vagina.
I'm not going to answer.
I mean, if
You
I
have to, George.
No,
it's
I don't
broadcast.
have to. You
You're-
have
You're
to.
under official
For
broadcast.
One time, you answer one of these stupid questions that you've asked us over the last
Give
30
me
years.
hot woman with the possum.
Talking to you,
I'm
Gordon.
talking about the panucity. That's preferable.
Yeah, maybe you're right, because then you could still make love to a woman.
Yeah, I think you'd be popular with women.
Yeah, you probably would.
Yes. Be awesome.
Yeah,
Be
I
awesome.
think that is the
and
right
you get
choice.
to stare at your own rack every day?
You just want to be Richard Speck.
What?
You
Who
just
is
want to be
Richard
Richard
Speck?
Speck.
Who is that?
He was in an Illinois state prison and he grew breasts.
Mark that and play it for Peter King. God rest his soul.
He's retired.
This is why he really
I answered it. Craig, you saw that I was under official broadcast, and I answered it. Okay, George, now you have to answer
I'm playing
it.
the part of Gordon this week, and I'm not going to answer.
You can't play the part of
Courage.
me.
This
You don't
is
have
an
my
interesting
permission.
debate.
I have NIL. You can't play
I
me.
have NIL.
Nope.
Ooh, this is a good debate. This is some really good back and forth.
Yep.
I know you are, but what am I?
I have NIL, so you have to tell me whether you want a vagina.
I'm in the transfer portal. I'm now playing the part of Gordon. I don't have to do it.
All right, fine. Then close the audio vault, Expo.
All right, Gordo, thank you.
Thank you, Craig. We had warm weather yesterday. Good Lord. That was crazy to have a day like that in February in which we got to 95 degrees, 94 degrees. 94 degrees. So we set a record yesterday. It broke a record that has stood for about 100 years. The previous record was 90, set in 1917. And we got up to 94 degrees by yesterday afternoon, and then tomorrow we're supposed to have a warm day as well. But not quite as warm. It's supposed to reach 88. No, 88 today, I'm sorry.
Today, yeah.
And tomorrow we cool
And then tomorrow
off,
we get the big cool off, which they say it's going to be like a 40-degree temperature swing after that cold front comes in tomorrow.
I've always said if you don't like the weather in Texas, just wait a minute.
Just shut up.
That's not very nice.
What else have you said about the weather in Texas?
That's it. That's the only thing.
No, I thought you had another quote
I don't think so.
when you're running for governor.
What are you talking about?
You don't remember that? When Clayton Williams had that horrible quote.
Is that about the weather?
Lay
it's kinda
lay back and enjoy it.
Yeah. While running for governor. He thought that would be a good quote. Temperatures on tomorrow morning will be only in the 40s, and then the high temperature will get to about 54 tomorrow. 40 degrees off the... Did you guys do anything out of doors yesterday to enjoy the weather?
Yeah.
I did. I took a bicycle ride around White Rock Lake, and it was really nice out. It wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be.
I'm kind of with you.
Yeah,
like it was warm, but it didn't feel hot.
Yeah.
Is that where we've gotten to now, that we're so used to the 110-degree days that now the 94-degree day feels like, oh, this is real pleasant?
Maybe.
Oh, not that bad.
I think the humidity was low and the winds were light and there were a few clouds.
Mm-hmm.
It was okay.
Yeah. Spring was in the air.
Flowers everywhere.
Well, I didn't see a lot of flowers. I don't know why you're saying that, Craig.
I don't know why you see so lot of flowers.
America's oldest person lives here in Texas. 114-year-old Elizabeth Francis lives in Houston, Texas. She became the oldest living person in the U.S. after the reported death of 116-year-old Edie Cesarelli from California. So now Elizabeth Francis is the oldest, 114. And she was born in Louisiana, but moved here when she was a kid to Houston. And she's lived here ever since she was a kid in Houston. Doesn't she want to move around? Shouldn't she, relocate right now?
Yeah, if you're going to get 114 years, change it up.
Move around. She's 114 years and 214 days old.
Kids tees at
now.
Lake Park, I'm thinking she could break 114.
Kids tees.
Yeah, like in front of the ladies' tees.
Yep.
There's no way.
You don't know. Maybe she's played golf all of her life.
She'd attempt one swing and then fall into a swamp.
I'm looking at the standings. She is the fifth oldest in the entire world.
Yep.
Oh.
Maria
Brañas Morera is the leader, right?
Yeah, 116 in 360 days. She's about to turn 117.
She was born in San Francisco, but lives in Spain and has since she was a child. Then there's 115-year-old Tomiko Ituka from Japan.
Okay.
Then 115-year-old Ina Canabaro Lucas from Brazil. And 114-year-old Juan Vicente Perez Mora from Venezuela. So that's the only guy on the list?
This is crazy. So I'm looking at the current oldest people in the world. Oh, my God. In the top 50.
They're hot.
In the top 50, he's the only man. The other 49 in the top 50 are women. Isn't that amazing?
That's an amazing, ironic note.
Women live longer.
They do.
What are we doing structurally to address this?
I don't know. I guess
obviously
we're just
there's a political situation in place that are keeping men from reaching their full longevity.
Maybe we should just talk more.
Or maybe we're
that's
just doing too many crazy things on ATVs and killing ourselves.
That may be it, too.
But congratulations. We should get her out at ticket stock next year.
Yes.
Or actually, we're booked up next year. We should do it the year after.
Yes.
We'll get her the year after. Will she be alive for the ticket stock after next?
Fingers crossed.
Huh.
You wouldn't have thought that when the ticket started 30 years ago, but here she is.
That she'd still be alive?
Never in the history.
Would you want to live to 114?
Yes, if I were of sound mind and body, sure.
She's confined to a bed, Craig. Is that okay?
Nah.
No, I don't. I don't like hearing
a lot
that.
of binge watching of TV, I'm sure, in her life.
Yeah, at that point, put me in the boat and either have my brother hit me with a flaming arrow or aim me towards the dam.
She has a sister that lived to 106 years old.
Damn, this family.
Yeah. Well, not damn them. I mean, we got to praise them. Why are you damning the whole family? Damn! She has a daughter who is 94.
Wow.
She's got 3 grandchildren, 5 great-grandchildren, and 4 great-great-grandchildren. But I hear they're not that great.
Not that great.
Not that great. Voted the other way.
Yeah.
They, her and her sister were among the sibling pairs with the oldest combined age in the history.
Wow.
She worked at ABC 13 News in Houston for 20 years. She was the cafeteria lady there at the TV station, but retired in 1975. She's been retired for 50 years. There's no way that she built up a 401k that could have lasted her to this
I don't know.
long.
Maybe she's been going the last few years and her financial advisor is
way.
still going, yeah, I think you're good. I think we're going to make it.
Maybe she got in early on crypto.
Maybe.
Rode that all the way up when it mooned. Okay, according to Wallet Hub, Texas ranks 47th in states for woman friendliness.
That's not very good.
No. They compared 25 key metrics across 50 states and the District of Columbia. And the only states that ranked lower than us, were Alabama, Mississippi, Louisiana,
Every list.
and dead last, Oklahoma.
Every list. No way! So this means dead last or near in terms of the state being accommodating and friendly to women or the women having friendly personalities.
This means the state being a friendly place for women's is to live. So they looked at things like female uninsured rates, the number of unemployed women. Texas ranks 19th in median earnings of female workers, adjusted for cost of living, 40th in share of women in poverty, 31st in women's life expectancy at birth, things like that. High school graduation rates also.
We rank really low in a lot of categories for thinking we're so great here in the Lone Star State.
Would you like to say that again where everybody could hear?
No, he's not
No,
confident
I was
enough
just
to go
telling you guys
fully
that-
on the air
okay.
with
Did that
it.
go through on the air? I was just telling you on
But-
our PA system.
No.
At George Dunham on Twitter. It didn't
That
go
went
through.
on the air. You know, it's the weird kind of editing that brains do when pride gets involved.
I mean, education,
Lone Star State, #1, baby.
but we suck at
Secede
just about
from the
everything.
Union.
Driving, education.
Freedom. We don't suck at freedom, George.
That's right. We don't suck at freedom.
We got tons of freedom.
But let's talk about how great we are every day.
Guess what was #1 in female friendliness?
#1.
It's usually something like Vermont, New Hampshire.
Yeah, I'll go Maine.
Massachusetts came in first with one of the lowest unemployment and uninsured rates for women, and high rankings for life expectancy and health care.
Who messed you up on that state? Was it the way Bugs Bunny would say it?
No, I think my mom used to say Massachusetts,
That's what Bugs Bunny would say.
and so that's the way I said it. But it's Massachusetts.
That sounds funny.
I know.
Massachusetts.
I'm telling you, is there not like a regional thing? Like, is there not some place that pronounces it Massachusetts?
Again, Bugs is the only place I've seen it.
Why isn't it Massachusetts? Isn't it a charcuterie board? Or is it a charcuterie board?
Char.
Okay.
But she is Cher.
Yeah.
But you sit in a chair,
And you hit Mach 1, so that's a k.
right?
Massachusetts.
When did the charcuterie board become such a big deal?
I don't know, but it is.
They're
isn't it?
everywhere.
Oh, yeah, we'll have some people over and we'll prepare a charcuterie board.
I mean, they are great. I like them.
But a little bit of cheese, some sliced beef, maybe a fruit or something that took you maybe 5 minutes to prepare and cost 50 cents, and you're charging $18?
Yeah, I know.
Let's cut that back a little bit.
Yeah, prices are a little high these days. I went to like a...
Thanks a lot, Biden.
Yeah, this is totally
Biden's inflation.
channeling his inner Obama.
Yeah.
But I went to like a burger place. Got a burger, fries, and drink.
$20.
It was $23. Yeah. I'm talking like not a restaurant, you know.
You
like,
drove through and got this?
No, I
burger?
walked in,
Okay.
but it's one of those that are...
Oh, you're definitely paying over 20 if you walk in.
It's unbelievable to me.
Yeah.
Burgers are too damn high. I'm going to run on that platform. Burgers too damn high.
Okay.
TCU urging caution after video appears to show a man with a gun trying to break into student off-campus housing.
Jeez.
Did you see the
that's really disappointing.
footage of this dude? He looked like he was trying to break in the back door of a place, and he's holding a gun.
God.
And the students around that area, around TCU, were saying that they've noticed things being stolen, that seems like crime is on the uptick over there. They're encouraging people to watch out. Madonna implied that Luther Vandross has AIDS.
Well, that's
Or at least had it, because he has
I was going to say, I
he
thought
has
he
passed away. But
long since passed.
she has been doing this thing at her concert where she puts up a montage of people, famous people who have died of AIDS, and he made the montage.
And that was breaking news to everybody.
What?
Did he die of AIDS?
No, he didn't.
Okay.
And so his family reached out to her and said, hey, could you take Luther out of the whole AIDS montage?
That's cool that you gave me,
I mean, thanks for doing that.
a tribute, but he didn't
maybe-
die of AIDS.
Maybe yank him out of your AIDS quilt. Yeah, he was shown next to Freddie Mercury during her concerts.
Why did she do that?
I guess she thought he had AIDS.
Huh.
I mean, he died in 2005 at the age of 54
Oh, yeah, and one other thing.
from complications. Let that go. From complications of a stroke that he had 2 years earlier. He was a gay man, Craig. Luther Vandross.
I'm not sure I knew that.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
Well, he was never out of the closet. Like, he never came out during his lifetime. And it was only after he had passed away
Oh, what a voice.
that friends of his confirmed that he was gay. I'm sorry, that he was
had
blind.
AIDS.
I mean, are you gay? Sean Diddy Combs touched the anus of his producer,
Okay.
The anus?
according to a new lawsuit. He's had a lot of lawsuits lately come at him.
Should we send this off of how you do a newscast this
No.
last
What?
10 minutes? The headline. And
Okay, by the way, I think I got one.
What?
All right, George.
Okay.
Here is the oldest woman in the world.
Why are you laughing at her?
It's
Jeez, dude.
Put it
P1CJ
on the body of an LPGA player.
photoshopped 114-year-old Elizabeth Francis with really a perfect backswing
Yeah.
and at
Yeah,
the top of the
hey,
swing.
that
He
is
just ripped one
clearly a
280
young
down the
woman's
middle.
body.
She's holding the pose. So, yes, I think you're right. She could
Yeah.
break 114.
Yeah, we're going to put her back at the tips.
He says that this is her on 16 at Kingwood in Houston.
Bingo.
16.
We're talking about sexual assault here.
Oh.
So
I'm sorry.
Lil Rod Jones says that he was ordered to recruit prostitutes and have Grex with them for P. Diddy's pleasure.
Prostitute.
And he has hundreds of hours of video documenting Sean Combs' serious illegal activity. It's a $30 million lawsuit. And he also claims that the record boss, Ethiopia Habteramirin,
What?
dismissed Sean Combs' groping as just friendly horseplay and, quote, his way of showing he likes you. If you like a guy, George, do you touch his anus?
No.
Okay.
I want to go back to the guy whose first name is Ethiopia.
Why?
Have you ever known an Ethiopia?
Sure.
You have
I
not.
had two in my high school.
What name?
Named
What
that.
name?
And there was one guy named America, but he spelled it differently. He had a K instead of a C at the end. Lil Rod is nothing more than a liar who filed a $30 billion lawsuit shamelessly looking for an undeserved payday, said Sean Combs' lawyer. But you ought to read the allegations. I mean, they get crazier and crazier, including this guy says that Cuba Gooding Jr. was there on P. Diddy's yacht and fondled him as well.
Is it me or does Cuba's name just pop up in Wheels Off stories about three
Why
times
aren't you
a year?
mentioning that? There's Cuba. You got Ethiopia and Cuba.
Well,
Right.
I've known him for a while. Well, I've known of him for a while. I've never known an Ethiopia
China.
Johnson before, or Wilson or something.
Who's what other famous
Ethiopia
people have
Wilson.
national type names?
America Ferrera.
Okay, see? Is there a Canada?
Cody, Canada.
Yeah.
Michael Vick's alias was Ron Mexico. But
Yeah,
that's
that's
a last
We all
name.
laughed at that.
It's got to be a first name. It is kind of rare. You're right in that it is kind
Kind
rare.
of. We've never
Panama?
heard of it before.
Okay, I got one for you. Chad.
Okay.
Yeah, there you go.
There's lots of people named after that country.
That's true.
Got the band Europe.
Yeah, not really a country. Joanne Woodward is 94. Wait, she's still alive?
Wow.
Paul Newman's ex? Mm-hmm. Or, I guess, widow?
Yeah.
Barbara Babcock is 87. The actress. Neil Schon, the great guitarist for Journey, is 70.
He's 70?
Yeah,
Wow.
and he's great. Noah Emmerich, the actor from Truman Show, Super 8, Miracle, he's 59. Donald Logue is
Donald
58.
Logue.
Donald Logue. Chelsea Clinton is 44.
Happy birthday.
Josh Groban, 43. Raymond Berry, 91.
Hall of Fame receiver from some small town in
From his
Texas.
mother.
Yeah.
James Worthy, 63.
Greatness.
Deuce Staley is 49. Tony Gonzalez, 48.
Greatness.
Devin Harris, 41. And Jalen Tolbert turns 25 today.
All right.
Happy birthday.
Raymond Berry, born in Corpus and went to high school in Paris, Texas.
Ah, a lion.
And an SMU pony.
Indeed.
All right, thanks. That's Muse. All right, it's 8:40 on the ticket, and it's time to welcome an old friend into the studio. Open the door and say hello to the generic youth minister.
Looky there.
Friends are friends.
Hi, generic youth minister. How are you?
The Lord. Hey, Craig. Hey, George. What's going on?
Not much. Thanks for coming in.
You know, while y'all are talking celebrity golf tournaments and having John Smoltz Love Fest and everything going on, there's a battle for the soul of this world going on between the forces of darkness and the Lord's mercy.
Indeed.
But y'all go ahead and laugh it up while people are being unalive through violence and persecution. Well, that's all y'all
that's
do
just what
here.
we do on our show. We do sports and we try to have a good time.
Anyway, what y'all been up to? Seen any cool pop music documentaries lately?
Yeah.
I don't know how cool it was.
What you watch?
but-
Did you watch that Greatest Night in Pop?
Yeah, I just talked about it today.
Oh, man, I watched that. And all right, I got to tell you right now, I knew something was wrong with that Michael Jackson back in the day. And seeing that again, oh,
Did
my
ya?
goodness, man. He like talked funny and collected rainforest animals.
Yes.
Or something.
Yes.
I mean, that's just not normal.
Yeah, it was weird.
And that Cyndi Lauper.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, my gosh. She's all dressed like a Wiccan. Her heart looks like it's the devil's playground. But I did like the boss singing. That was kind of cool watching him sing all USA like it.
Yeah, I like that.
He was real good and everything. But yeah, I think that's, you got to be careful with that rock music. It can lead you to the devil pretty quickly.
Oh, really?
Well, I guess it could.
Oh, yeah. Didn't George, you like, listen to that Judas Priest back in the day.
They had some great stuff.
Yeah, but they didn't do natural things, let me tell you that. Not that Rob Halford, I'll tell you. I came by to bring y'all an invitation to my church.
Oh, okay.
All righty.
Yeah, and I want you to know it's not like the churches y'all grew up with. We even got, it's a cool church. I mean, we
Okay.
even got a Starbucks in our church.
Yeah, that's wild. I've seen churches
I know.
that
Well,
have that.
it's actually not a Starbucks so much, but we do have some Starbucks cups that we put low-grade motel coffee in. But anyway, it looks cool.
It's
but
free.
yeah, but our church real casual and everything. You know, you can wear jeans and stuff.
Okay.
And we have really good music. Like we don't do like choir stuff. We have like a rock band.
Okay, yeah, I've seen
Well,
that.
as much of a rock band as you can have with a trap kit and a low-end Taylor. But anyway.
Bingo.
But and like when I'm up there talking and everything, I really lean into it. I have like a little headset microphone and everything,
cool. Wow.
and my hair's all teased and spiked up and everything. You know, really making 2,000-year-old doctrine relevant to today with hairstyle
Right. Sure.
and jeans. And I even have, you know what I do sometimes? I probably shouldn't say this out loud.
What's that?
I have my wallet on a chain.
Wow.
Yeah, pretty
That's
cool
pretty
stuff.
good. Yep.
Pretty cool stuff. You guys doing the Lent season?
Yeah.
You know, in my
Relenting.
non-denominational church, we don't emphasize Lent quite as much as those Pope worshipers do. But at least we mention it a few times. And,
Sure.
the idea is that you give up something as a form of spiritual practice and you take on some good works, too, kind of like that. So I gave up boba tea. I did. I love that stuff and everything. I just love that stuff so much, and I love drinking it because it tastes so good. And that little Korean girl that makes it for me so sweet, and I just want to help her because she's probably not a good driver, But I gave that up, and you know what I took on?
What'd you take
Feeding
on?
the hungry.
Oh, that's
Feeding
nice.
the hungry.
That's good.
So yeah, I feed all my friends' cats when he's out of town. So and everything, they're real hungry and
Okay.
everything. It's like a 12-minute drive to this place. It's kind of a hardship. But anyway, I wanted to invite y'all to speak to our youth group and talk to them about sports or whatever. Just
Okay.
y'all talk
Yeah,
about.
George can do that.
Like y'all can teach them about like John Smoltz and stuff.
Well, we're back to him again.
But if y'all can do that, I got you signed up for Sunday week.
Okay.
I'll do a
That's
week from
Craig.
this Sunday. You
He's
guys
really
can come
good
on
at
out
it.
there. And hey, a reminder, we're having the 8th grade lock-in this weekend.
Okay.
We're going to watch High School Musical 2 again.
Okay.
And order pizza from the hut. And we're going to do that trick where you put someone's hand in warm water while they sleep. It's kind of
don't do
subversive,
that.
but not that
Oh.
bad, so we can kind of do it. It seems kind of cool. But anyway, and we do have to make mention that we did close down the fellowship hall again.
Oh, what happened?
Well, the people we hired, they used lead-based paint in there, and it made people sick, and people were having a hard time keeping the casserole down at the potluck.
no.
Yeah, I know it. It was a vomit fest in there and everything, but we had to close it down, but we're going to get that abated as soon as we can get a few bids.
Okay, get some bids.
But what?
What?
Anyway, you guys come on out. Now you need to come out and speak to our Vacation Bible School.
Okay. Craig will
we
be
got
there
that
next
coming
Sunday.
up in about 5 months. So you guys do that. Don't forget, friends are friends.
Okay, bye-bye.
There goes the generic youth minister. All right, it's 8:46 on the ticket. I think I have a good tale to tell about music next.
Patreon.com/sportsgreek.
It is my turn this week to do musical musers, and I'll start with a quote from the late, great Tom Petty, who said, "Music is probably the one real magic I've encountered in my life. There's not some trick involved with it. It's pure and real. It moves, it heals, it communicates, it does all these incredible things." And I totally agree with that. I've seen it a couple of times in my life, like when this song, Johann Pachelbel's Canon in D, was playing when my oldest son, we were on a drive back from a Christmas party. He was 14. And this was playing. He said, "Hey, could you turn that up?" I don't know why, but I've always loved this song. It strikes some sort of emotional chord with me. And we were just glad to be engaged with a teenager. And we said, "Oh, yeah, sure, we'll turn it up." But my wife and I looked at each other, and we told him, well, there may be a reason why, because when we were going through Lamaze class with you, we had relaxation time at the end of each class period, and this song would play. And I think, well, I know he heard it when he was in the womb, and it's strange because we never played it for him when he was 2 or 3 purposefully. He may have heard it, but yeah, it was always very special to him, and I just always thought that was a really cool story. And yeah, we played it for a little bit. It was played. They had a string quartet at his wedding. And
yeah, this is played at just about every wedding, I think.
Just about.
It's a universally loved piece of music.
Yeah.
Especially this part.
Yeah, it's beautiful. Just beautiful. And they played that for about a minute, and then the orchestra went into, he got married on a Friday. They went into
Friday by Rebecca Black.
It's Friday, I'm in Love
by
The Cure. It was great. And he's always loved music. But I also saw this with when my parents were ill. They got to a point where they couldn't take care of themselves. They couldn't communicate. And one Christmas, I took my guitar to see my mom, who was bedridden at the time. And she was really to the point where she was not speaking at all. And I was playing Christmas songs, and I was playing White Christmas, because my dad always used to sing that when he would sit at the piano. And got to the part where the treetops glisten, children listen to hear. And my mom, who I hadn't heard say a word in weeks, said, "Sleigh bells in the snow." And it was just wild. And I said, "Okay, Mom." Yeah. And I don't think, she had another lyric for the rest of that day, but she listened, and the music somehow broke through all of that, everything that was ailing her.
Yeah, it seems like music does break through a lot of those mental conditions. Because you remember that story about how, what's his name? The great guitarist, Glenn Campbell.
Yep.
He had...
Same thing.
Yeah. But yet, when you put a guitar in his hand, he could remember music in a way that he couldn't remember how to speak.
Yeah. Well, so my dad, unfortunately, a few years later, he had a stroke. And he was basically in the same condition, and it worsened. He was bedridden, and I would go play my guitar for him. Sometimes we'd read to him. I'd read him the latest out of Golf magazine, or sometimes I would take my guitar. The one common ground we had musically, because my dad thought Elvis and the Beatles were going to end the world, and the Rolling Stones were going to end whatever was left. I mean, that was in the 60s, so you can imagine what he thought through the 70s, 80s, and 90s. But he loved Willie and Waylon. And I used to play this song, and he would always He loved it when I would sing this song. And sure enough, again, he gotten to the point where he hadn't said much of anything for weeks on end. And occasionally when I'd go play guitar for him, he would sing this chorus with me. And my dad had a great voice, and he'd sing every word. And it would be this temporary breakthrough, and then he would go back to, his state. But at the time, I remember thinking it was like Tom Petty, very magical, that we were able to break through just for a moment in time. So fast forward a number of years, and, unfortunately, my siblings have run into health problems here the last couple of years. We lost our sister last summer, and we just lost my brother. And I waited a couple of weeks to do this because I couldn't have done it a couple of weeks ago. But just listen to this song for about 15 seconds.
Cigarette, it's closing time. I'm drunk again, but somehow make it home and cry myself to sleep. That's the way to dance every night for me.
That is the great Randy Rogers and Freddie Black playing Empty Glass. Gary Stewart made that song really famous. The great Dean Dillon, who's written a zillion songs, wrote that song. And it was always my brother Tad's favorite. We'd get together, and I swear we started every session. If it wasn't Tonight's Not the Night, it was Empty Glass. He too had a condition where his memory started going and his speech started going, and he really declined a lot here in the last year. So much so that my sister-in-law had to put him into a facility. She needed help, and she had to do this late in the fall. They sold their place in Pittsburgh, Kansas, and they were orchestrating a move. And so early December, my sister and my other brother made a pilgrimage to see my brother, and I brought my guitar. And keep in mind, he had not talked for several weeks. He had some behavioral issues. He was really becoming frustrated in the facility with therapists and doctors alike, and he was starting to come around, though, and they found the right medication to where at least he could be quiet and sit peacefully, but he was really resisting communication. So we were told by my sister-in-law, I don't know what he's going to say. And I said, well, I'm going to bring my guitar. And as I said a couple weeks ago when I told you about his passing, we reconnected in our adult lives through music. He was my first favorite guitar player. He played in a band, and they would play at our house when my dad was at work because they would play rock. They'd play Beatles and Rolling Stones, and I would dance along to it when I was 2 years old. But then he went off to college, and so when he would come home and play guitar, it was a big deal with me. And I thought when he would play Buck Owens or the Beatles or Neil Young or John Prine, whatever it was an awesome experience for me. I just thought he was the greatest because he could play guitar and sing. So in our adult lives, we reconnected with music and with Texas music and with Randy Rogers and Pat Green and Wade Bowen and all these guys. And I thought that maybe if I, brought my guitar that we could sit around and sing. And sure enough, when we got up there, his face lit up to see all three of us. I think that triggered something, seeing his siblings. But I played the opening line to this, just the opening chord, and said, it's an empty glass. And he chimed in with, and a last cigarette.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. And we played and sang for an hour and a half.
Wow.
And it was amazing. And we played our favorite Randy songs, our favorite Wade Bowen songs, Chris Knight. We played Bird Dog songs, which were special to him because he's co-written about 9 or 10 songs with me. some made it this far and actually got recorded. It's a song called What Might Have Been that we wrote. And when I played it, I'd sing like the opening line, and my brother would sing this next part right here.
Won't you please stop crying? Gonna get you to buy it.
And we just sang together again, and my sister joined in, my other brother joined in. And this is for a guy who was having a really tough time just making it through the day, communicating. A couple times he reached out. It held my sister-in-law's hand. You know, like, hey, this is my wife. You know, his son was there at the time. I'm telling y'all, it was 90 minutes of the most spiritual thing I've ever witnessed.
Thanks to music.
Thanks to music, breaking through. You know, just a song that not many people have heard, but it's a really special song to us. And I didn't want it to end. You know, I kept saying, hey, let's try this one. And then he got tired, and it was time for him to take, you know, meds and go have his lunch and everything. Turns out that's the last good day he had. That's a couple weeks later is when he really took a turn and got worse. But we had this day, and it lasted an hour and a half. I swear to you, it seemed like it lasted 8 or 9 hours.
That's
just
pretty good.
Yeah, just
pretty good to get that.
So in the moment. But, you know, all I could think about, because I think, you know, very recently, either after that trip or before that trip, my wife had just read me that quote. Music is probably the one real magic I've encountered in my life. There's not some trick involved with it. It's pure and real. It moves, it heals, it communicates, it does all these incredible things. And I've witnessed it several times over with family members, but the day with my brother, which turned out to be the last day with my brother, was musical, you know? All of a sudden his band, and I never got the name of it, something about a staircase was the name of his band that used to play at our house. From then until this day, which I believe is December 2nd, music, you know, filled our family gatherings, and that was, you know, the last one that we had with him. And I'm so glad that we got to sing one more time, one more gig. So there you go. What's next in the corner?
Horny next.
What a horrible transition.
Thanks, Craig. One correction that I saw many people making about this, the song that Deddy sang, Wild Nights, originally done by Van Morrison, not Mellencamp.
Yeah.
People
Got that yesterday,
people
too.
were killing us on that.
Yeah.
Deddy.
Yeah, originally done by Van Morrison, not sucking on
oldie.
chili dog John Mellencamp, who was originally John Cougar, right? That's when he came out. He was just Johnny Cougar.
Well, originally John Mellencamp, stage name
yes,
John Cougar,
indeed.
Yeah.
then back to John Mellencamp.
How many albums did he just go by John Cougar on?
Didn't he go by all three names for a little while? John Cougar Mellencamp?
That's right.
So
confusing.
From Magic Marcus, he says, Yorona, which is the name of that band that we were talking about, where one of the band members spiked the other band member's pre-workout protein drink with estrogen to give him breasts so his girlfriend would break up with him and that she would go out with him instead.
Crazy plan.
I still don't know if I'm saying that right, but anyway, Llorona means crier in Spanish, according to Magic Marcus. She is a Mexican legend who drowned her children to be with a man, and her plan didn't work out, according...
Oh, my.
So I guess this legend, so now she cries all the time and haunts people.
Wow.
Haunts people.
So she's a Mexican specter. An ethereal being.
Okay.
Who cries all the time. Do kids around White Rock still tell the Lady of the Lake story, or have those stupid urban legends gone away?
I doubt they tell it.
You ever heard of the Lady of the Lake?
I remember we were going through all the local ones a long time ago. That's a good one. Are kids so consumed with media now that they have no time for legends and stories like that?
I don't know, though, because TikTok seems to spread so many conspiracy theories and legends. And there's one going around recently about toothpaste, about how the elites know which toothpaste to use based on the color on the bottom of it. Because there's these little color-coded bars on the bottom of it, and it indicates to the Illuminati which ones will give them superpowers.
Everybody just stop.
And somehow people believe this kind of stuff. Or maybe I'm stupid for not believing it.
Yeah.
So the Lady of the Lake story in White Rock is that somebody was driving home late at night, no cars on the road, and there's a woman in a wedding dress standing on the side of the road, flagging down the vehicle.
Soaking wet.
And she asked to get a ride to her home. Mm-hmm. And the guy gives her a ride to her home. She tells him where. He pulls up into the driveway of the home. And then when he turns to let her out of the car, say, okay, then she's gone. And there's just a wet spot there where she was sitting before.
And
which I've had that part happen to me before.
Did she fall into the lake or did she drive into the lake? She had some accident, right?
Well, the guy goes up to the door, knocks on the door of the house that he did, and the people who live there tell them that their daughter drowned in the lake 30 years before.
Did she look like this?
That's it.
On her wedding night.
Yeah. So she still had a wedding gown on.
Yeah.
Right.
I think that's the version that I heard
right.
anyway. I think every town has a Lady of the Lake story.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But that's the one that I heard. Aaron says, I wish that they would have gone into detail in that We Are the World documentary into why the hell Dan Aykroyd was there.
Well, because I think they won an AMA that night.
They did?
Yeah, the Blues Brothers. I think they were at that award show.
Yeah. And was Ghostbusters already out then?
Yeah. I think it had just come out.
But it does seem like they would have addressed that a little bit more. You know, and Dan Aykroyd, of course, having the #1 movie and had been at the AMAs to win for Blues Brothers was theirs.
Am I crazy, or did they say something about that they won something, that the Blues Brothers had won something?
Oh, I don't remember
or
that.
They were there. Okay,
maybe I missed that part.
I may have made that up.
Did Ghostbusters, of course, that was Ray, what's his name, that sang it?
Ray Parker.
Ray Parker Jr. Written by Huey Lewis. Dun, 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 dun,
He called it I Want a New Drug.
Would that have been awkward if they had invited Ray Parker Jr. and Huey Lewis to the...
Put them next to each other.
Yeah.
So Aykroyd said, this is a quick search, in an interview many years ago, that he was at that recording session by total accident.
What?
Says he was with his father interviewing business managers in L.A. and inadvertently visited the office of a talent manager that somehow got him into We Are the World.
Wow, that's crazy.
It is crazy. Is this a good song?
It was okay for the time.
It was a great song for this movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's perfect.
There's a new one coming out, right? Ghostbusters, what is it? Free Fall or Freeze Warning or something. New Ghostbusters movie. And I think Paul Rudd is the lead in it.
Okay.
He is the lead, yes.
And Bill Murray and Dan Aykroyd and Ernie Hudson, I think, make cameos in it.
Wow. So, yeah.
Frozen Empire.
Frozen Empire. There you go.
Dan Aykroyd said, so we just wandered into, we were interviewing money managers, and this guy said, hey, by the way, as long as you're here, would you like to come join this We Are the World thing? And Aykroyd said, I'm there, and I'm thinking, how do I fit in here? Well, we did sell a few million records with the Blues Brothers, and in my other persona, I'm a musician. So I showed up, and I was part of it, but it was a total accident. Isn't that wild?
It is.
It's so strange to see him on the back row just singing.
Lucky.
Speaking of movies, P1 Amy says her kid is kind of sound sensitive, so it's taken a while for him to want to see movies in theaters, but he wanted to see Migration in the theater recently. So I, of course, said yes. I wanted to make it special, so I let him get refreshments. So 1 adult matinee ticket, 1 child ticket, 2 drinks, 2 boxes of candy, and 1 small popcorn. How much do you think that is?
Wow. How many tickets? 1 adult,
1 adult,
1 child?
1 child. And this was a matinee ticket, so this is not the full price.
30. I was going to say 30.
$65 total.
Oh, my God.
She says, this is why I laugh when Hollywood encourages us to see movies in the theater again. Not when it's $65 for 2 people to see a kid's movie on a Saturday afternoon.
Wow.
She also says sneaking in candy and drinks is no longer so easy because they check your bags where she lives.
Really?
Yeah, I don't think I've experienced that yet.
Shove them down your pants next time.
Okay, you can tell women to do that, but I'm not going to.
The candy to get it in.
Oh,
don't call women's places the candy.
To get it in.
Oh,
candy.
my gosh.
To get the candy into the theater.
What are you suggesting?
On sleepwalking, Sharon says that her 9-year-old son once sleepwalked to the front door and peed on it. And her husband was leaving early in the morning to go to the gym before work, and his suit was hanging on the front door. So the kid just graffitied the suit with urine. This is a scary story about sleepwalking from P1 David. He says, it stirred up a memory when we were talking about it the other day. When he was 8, on multiple occasions during school nights, my mom found me in the living room at dark 30 watching TV. And then the next morning she would interrogate me, and I had no idea what she was talking about, which drove her insane. She was accusing him of being a TV-aholic and that she thought he was waking up purposefully to go watch TV in the middle of the night. Then one night around 2 in the morning, she woke up to me watching TV again. Well, the phone started ringing, which jarred me out of my haze as I was watching TV. Our neighbor was calling in the middle of the night asking my mom did she know that I had just knocked on her door, standing in my underwear, asking for a ride downtown.
Wow.
Then another neighbor called and said that I had rang their doorbell and turned the doorknob, and they didn't answer because they thought I was a burglar.
Wow.
Both neighbors were across the street and a few houses down. I don't remember any of this, only recalling what my mom has told me. Mom put all kinds of deadbolts high up on the doors and drove vampire-style nails into the windows after that. Our house literally became Fort Knox, but I never did sleepwalk outside of the house again.
Wow.
Golly.
That's scary.
That's especially in Castle. If this had happened in Castle Doctrine days,
Oh, yeah.
how creepy would that have been? And then, finally, this story about a nightmare from Eth Dog. He says, Gordon, I thought I'd reach out to let you know that you made an appearance in a nightmare I just had. But not in the creepy role that one would think. Actually, quite the opposite. So I'm having this nightmare of being in some large parking lot for a concert or something similar. And I just parked my truck in a spot, and inside the truck is myself, my wife, and our 3-month-old daughter. After sitting there for a few seconds, another vehicle pulls up right in front of my truck, blocking me in, and 3 very rough-looking customers surround my vehicle. The guys have guns and large knives. They drag me out of the driver's seat, and they start tearing and destroying my new truck from the outside, stealing whatever they think is valuable. Thankfully, my family is still inside the truck, but I'm getting all cut up and roughed up by one of the guys, and it all seems like a fun game to these guys. And I'm not in great shape, and I'm bleeding everywhere like a stuck pig. Then I look up, and a very short Gordon Keith walks up. He says, I'm 5'11", and you must have been no taller than 5'6". You walk right up to me like you're some angel. Radio superstar coming. No, that wasn't what I said in the dream. These guys don't seem to notice you at all. I instantly run over to you and wrap my arms around you and just start crying. You just looked at me with this face of sorrow, and for the remainder of the ordeal, you just hung around. You hung around and were there for me like you were my support angel or something. You never spoke a word. You just looked on the incident like you felt bad about the whole thing. Thankfully, my family was left alone, and I woke up shortly after you came into the picture. So as a person who loves to play the role of chaos on the show, you actually played the role of peace in my nightmare. By the way, I'm 29 years old, been listening to The Ticket my whole life, and this is the only dream anyone from The Ticket has made it into in all these years. So thank you, Gordon, for being my savior.
Boy,
I think
that
I've
went to
changed
his
the way I've
head.
done
You know-
things in the past 5 years. I don't think you're recognizing that.
Ethan, it's just a little something I like to do from time to time is be P1 saviors, the P1 savior in their dreams. So
that was all you. Somehow you transported yourself.
well, I mean, it does
your
take
image into his dream.
take a little bit of energy out of me to do this when I do this at night.
Yeah, well, that's really giving.
But
of you.
but fortunately, the bathtub recharges over the next week or so, and then when I sleep in it the next time, I'm
he
able
does sleep in
to
it. I knew
transport into people's dreams.
I knew it.
Why do you choose to appear as a very short version of yourself?
That is an odd detail. I don't know why I made that choice, but it is a choice,
Okay.
which is the most important thing here. But I was the benevolent, non-speaking, short savior in his nightmare. When was the last time you guys had a dream in which one of the other musers was in it?
Oh, all the time.
Really?
Yeah.
I think just about every night.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever dreamed about either of you two. I don't think I've
not
ever even
once.
thought about either of you outside of work hours.
It happens
Gordon
from time to
Keith.
time. I can't remember the last time, but it happens.
I have them all the time. Now, a lot of them are light goes on, segment starts, I'm leading the segment, and I have no idea what I'm about to say. I'm completely unprepared, and it's you two guys reacting, like trying to cover for me or asking what's wrong or poking fun at me. But I have a lot of those dreams.
Wait, this was a dream you had? I
I'm-
experience that every day on the show.
Gordon
That's
just
my
had that in
normal
reality,
feeling.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's the old not being ready for a test in school
Yeah.
type dream, but I have them in the workplace.
Yeah. How long did you go into your adult life or post-college or high school where you weren't taking the test without having even been to the class?
Man, I have not had...
I had that into my 30s.
Wow,
you were still
really?
having school dreams?
Yeah.
I had them during school, but not out of school.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know that I had them really out of school either.
And they say that's because you felt like unprepared for something,
Yes.
which is pretty much daily here. How we're going
Yes.
to do 4.5 hours.
When was the last time you had teeth crumbling or teeth falling out dreams?
Never had those.
No.
Dang, I
What does
can't
that
believe
mean?
that. I haven't had those in a long time, but I think that means that you feel powerless over something.
That's a tooth thing with you. You're always caught up in teeth.
Yeah,
Not caught up in teeth.
that's your deal.
Heck, you're not.
When was the last time you had the dream of the snake coming to
I don't dream about snakes.
playfully wrap around your neck?
Oh, yeah.
You don't have that one?
No, never.
Playfully.
Have you ever had a P1 email you and say they had a dirty dream about you?
Yes.
I don't know. Maybe.
Huh. George being a little cagey there.
I mean, I just don't remember it if they
Hey,
did.
all right.
I'm sure they have. You know,
Seems like a bit of a
Come on.
deflection there, George.
Yeah, I mean, come on.
It does,
Come
doesn't
on.
it?
I'm sure it happens all the time.
All right. Well, if any P1s have dreams about us, let us know.
Yeah. Fill us in.
Especially dirty ones that you have about George. I want to hear about those.
Me too.
Yeah.
All right, thank you. That's the corner.
Get the Steak podcast at patreon.com/sportsgreek.
Let's put up the signal.
We got to wait till the whole song every single time?
Well, you're here. So, all right, here he is. He made it.
amazing. You put up the signal one time. As soon as you hear it, he appears.
It's magical.
Hey, Gordan.
Anytime 2 or more of you are gathered in my name, I am here.
I like that.
It's so sacrilegious.
No,
season.
I didn't even want to answer that. I don't know how. Do I need to wash your feet, kiss the hem of your garment? I don't know. How are you, man?
I'm doing well.
Have you recovered from ticket stock?
I have. Yeah. We had a good ticket stock. It was great. So many P1s said really nice things to us, and that always fuels me throughout the year. Like, I always try to really appreciate that. So it was great. Took a lot of pictures with people, had some fun conversations with you guys, and drone raced. That was the first time I've ever flown a drone. That was great. No, I didn't actually race it, but I flew the drone for a moment.
Did you have the goggles on?
No, I couldn't do the goggles. It's way too disorienting to do the goggles for me.
I forgot. Didn't you had a control, or was it George that flew the drone straight into a dude that was standing in the
George.
audience?
Yeah, that guy went to the hospital.
Yeah, that was unfortunate because the little blade cut him open.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he bled out there on the floor.
I was believing you at first, and then all of a sudden
I was going to help him, but I can't do blood transfusion.
And
did you take the stitches off of your hernia wounds and just stitch them up right there?
Do you still have stitches?
Some on the inside, but they glued the incisions up here, but the glue is still on. The glue hadn't fallen off yet.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it's kind of
surgical
weird.
Adhesives have gotten so much better.
Yeah, they're way better. But he did on the, like, you can't see the stitches that are in me that supposedly just dissolve in your body.
The dissolving stitches.
I don't know how that works, but...
How many surgeries have you had, Matt? You've had a few lengthenings and then...
Yeah, I had that one. Yeah, I've had the hernia one. I had a knee surgery. I had reconstructive nasal surgery.
Cocaine?
Yeah, you do too much of it,
Yeah.
My whole nose was just all messed up. I had bits and pieces of my bones everywhere. Is that bad?
It's like a mudslide inside.
What happened to your nose?
I got hit in the face playing hockey with the puck, and so my nose exploded.
Ugh.
Yeah, I felt awesome. Yeah, it was really bad. They told me that it was if my nose was an egg, they took it off my face, threw it on the ground, scooped up the pieces, and put it back on my face. That was really rough. I was in the hospital overnight for that one.
What about eggs?
That was unfortunate.
Only overnight? That seems like it would be more than that.
Yeah, I was there for a little over 24 hours, and I had my whole head wrapped and tubes coming out of my nose and everything for over a day. That was not fun.
Have you ever had surgery, Donnie?
It's like a broken finger, but nothing where I've had to stay in the hospital overnight.
Have you ever been put under?
Yes. Colonoscopy.
Oh, yes. Yes.
Tooth extraction, those things. But
yeah,
as far as others, I've never spent the night in a hospital bed with a gown exposing my ass and carrying a bedpan.
Yeah, I may have another surgery this year. We'll see. Because once you hit that out-of-pocket max for the year, might as well go get
Start scheduling all the surgeries you can.
Because I need to get my knee cleaned out again, but I don't know if I want to mess with that or not.
Man, people are getting it's so. I remember when if you had to have a knee replacement, a hip replacement, a shoulder replacement, it was such a huge deal, and now it's almost routine.
Mm-hmm.
That you hear a ton of people just saying, "Yeah, I went and got my knee replaced, and I just feel 1,000 times better." And that would freak me out to have to go do that. And I don't know. I don't want to. If I had never ever spent a day in the hospital, it would be the greatest thing in the whole world.
Well, I mean, the problem becomes if you have chronic pain and stuff that bothers you. Like I have to pop my knee all the time, and it'll swell up if I run too much and things like that. So if I could get to where that doesn't happen,
I know medical advancement is great.
Right. I mean, that was the thing with the hernia is it just got to a point where it was just annoying and I could feel it, and it was causing some other issues. So I was like, yeah, I'm just going to get this done so I don't have to deal with this anymore.
Yes, science.
What about you?
What? What do I want to get replaced?
No, surgeries. Have you been overnight in the hospital?
I've been needing to get I think one of my knees. This is a weird deal because I injured my knee. This is the wimpiest sounding thing you'll ever hear in your life. I injured my knee doing a character up here once.
And what character was that?
No, it wasn't Chris. It was a wrestling character named Big Dick Glover.
Okay.
You jumped off the table
and no, I was standing right here at this seat, and I stood up because it was during his big phrase of I I forget what it is. It's like, are you experiencing the experience that I'm trying to impart to you? Or something like this. I can't remember. But I'm yelling it, and I'm leaned back like this, and I like twist and turn, and I twist my ankle, and something popped in my knee right at that moment.
Oh, it might have been your meniscus.
Which is the weirdest thing in the world.
I know.
To throw your knee out while doing a radio-only character.
God, how'd you like to go to the surgeon and
it's horrible.
It's like, all right, so how'd you do this? Well,
I was doing a voice. But wait, what are you saying?
I think they've heard everything, but that will probably be a first.
Yes.
Because I've actually strained like a muscle brushing my teeth or just in the shower. You just move the wrong way.
Yeah.
Ow, that is.
How long ago is that?
That just knows you're getting.
This was probably 5-6 years ago, and it hurt my knee, and it hurt like for the next 2 years.
Yeah.
And I went to the doctor, and I had it the imaging done, and they say, yeah, you I guess it was tore something or another. I forget what it was.
Your meniscus, you can have a tear in that, walk around. Because I had a torn meniscus for a few years before I got it fixed.
That may have been what it is. I'd have to go back in my medical records, find out. But they said, hey, you need to probably have surgery, get this repaired and everything. And I kept waiting, and then it just kind of stopped hurting after a few years. And then just like 6 months ago, it started hurting again. So maybe I need to get it fixed.
Man, if there's like a place you could go where they just scan your entire thing and they go, okay, this is wrong. You have a little tear here. Because I have a thing with my thumb that I don't know what's wrong with that. If I could just get all that fixed, that'd be awesome.
Thumbs up.
We sound like guys in an old folks' home.
I know.
Yeah, I got this wrong with me. This wrong with me.
But I listened to you guys this morning talk about the lady who's the oldest living lady in Houston.
114.
114 years old. And you asked the question, would you want to live to be that? No.
What if it, but
I
what
want
if
to
you're
check
healthy?
out.
And you can get around and you're cognizant and you can have conversations and you can still experience things.
See, I still think that you're
just beat down.
Look, everyone's different, but in the average group of people, I think that's too long for you to live because the world just changes too much, and you're just like, you think she relates to anything in this world right now?
Yeah, it'd be tough.
You think she's texting someone something right now?
I mean, I guarantee you she's probably missed out on all of even smartphones. Like that was too newfangled for her, so she missed out on that. So when the world is just so different than anything that you could possibly be psychologically anchored to,
so
that's a bad feeling. I remember my grandmother when she was like 92 when she passed away. And she had an incredible spirit and was smart and still with it, but she couldn't see anymore. She could hardly hear.
Yeah, see,
and then all of her family and friends, other than us and other generations, she goes, all of my friends have passed, and there just becomes less and less that really tethers them to the world.
Yeah, I've thought about that because if you get to be that old, if you're 114, if you have a kid like when you're, let's say, 30. They could die at 85 or something, and
you could lose your kids
them.
too. Yeah,
but that'd be totally natural for those people to, die. That's where getting really old.
So yeah, imagine that you're 114 and not even your kids are still alive. You have some grandkids that you kind of know,
or even great grandkids that don't even care.
Yeah, and then you don't.
I mean, they may care.
You probably haven't memorized their names yet.
You'd have a great grandkid that's like 40.
I know.
Like, come over here. I don't know. I'm going to live to 100, I think, and then
okay. then there'll be a judgment call for you after that.
That's the goal.
Okay.
And I think that there's a lot of research being done on aging right now and how our cells work and things of that nature and longevity to age well and age better. And we're kind of at the cusp of some breakthroughs in the next decade that I think will help. Maybe not this generation that I'm in, but like my son and his generation to probably be able to age much better and live to where being 100 is not decrepit and old and hurting.
No, and I think that, you're right. The next generation, if the world obviously keeps going, the Earth is hospitable. But, they'll live to 140, 150.
Yeah, and it'll be how we see
a 70-year-old now.
Yeah, it'll be.
You think so?
Yes, we're very. There's some stuff in the research they're doing.
I get that. I just still think it's just something about the human body that will always hurt their knee doing a character voice and pull a muscle
First
while
time in history it happened. I don't think
brushing your teeth.
Yeah, but think
you
about
can do all that and say we're going to do this, but if you're not,
but if you control things on, we're going to sound like idiots here, but like on a cellular level, if they turn off aging And then you also have nanotechnology that allows, nanosurgery to happen inside the body, and you have basically little robots working around that repair cell damage and things like that.
Yeah.
I mean, the medical advancements, plus that's not even taking into account CRISPR and things like genetic modification that we'll be doing on humans before they're even born. There's a lot of upside to biologically engineering ourselves. Obviously,
do all that afterwards. After I'm gone.
I'm telling you right now, man. They discovered these things not long ago called telomeres that are like shoelaces at the end of cells, and as
they get shorter and shorter as you age.
Yeah, and they are learning what can help those slow. And if you have those, and the growth on those is slow, like once those are gone, then the cell dies, and it's gone. And so there's just different things they're looking into that are really interesting that will continue to help longevity and aging. We'll slow the process. And we're not that far away from it being very easy for most people to be able to do that.
So you could just drink some magical elixir.
Mm-hmm.
Or you can meet John Coffey like on Green Mile, like Tom Hanks. And then he opens your mouth and he just throws something in there. And now, because how old was Tom Hanks at the end of that movie? I'm 118 years old.
Well, it's like vampires.
It's still like a sad movie. When he says, "I'm tired, boss," it just always breaks my heart. John Coffey, breathing in the suffering of people.
Coffee. Like
coffee.
The drink.
Isn't that what I said?
Different.
Yeah. I said coffee.
I'm just repeating the line that he says in the movie.
It's like Brooks in Shawshank when he got out in the world and he couldn't figure it out.
Yeah, right.
He didn't
That's
fit
what a
in
lot of
anymore.
old people are like. Yeah. World just moves too fast. They don't understand it anymore.
Didn't get it.
They always have the phone on speaker out in public, just kind of yelling into it. They just don't understand technology now.
Well, so do the Kardashians. They talking to the ass into the phone all the time, don't they?
All the time. Like the only time I'll have speaker is on the in the car. But there's no way I'm gonna pop that thing out in the store and just have it on a grocery cart as I'm shopping for flour and pasta. Huh? What?
So many people do that though.
I just don't like talking on the phone in public at all because I don't want people to hear what I'm saying.
Yeah, I always get a whisper. You can tell if you call me and I pick up and I'm speaking lowly, then I am out in public. Because I don't think anyone should hear my conversation.
Yeah, I don't like
what I'm saying or who I'm talking to. Yes.
Have you ever confronted someone who is having a speakerphone conversation?
No, I don't confront anyone over anything.
And that's what makes you a man.
I don't confront people, but I'll start. This happened I forgot about this. Happened when I went in for my surgery. We're sitting in the waiting room waiting for them to call you back. There's probably 15 people in there. Everybody's trying to be quiet and whatnot. This one guy's just talking on his phone, so I just started talking to him. Well, he was like, "Oh, I'm not doing that." I was like, "I agree with you, man. Don't do that because it's pissing me off." And she was like, "Stop. He's going to come." I was like, "What's he going to say? He wants to talk. Let's jump in on his conversation."
Gosh. It's a pretty interesting way, though, of dealing with it.
As your
I've done that in the store,
just poking out.
Where a guy was like talking like how y'all are saying with the phone like that, and I just walked over and started talking really loud to overtalk him.
Yeah.
And what is that going to accomplish?
You're going to get a knife wound right next to that hernia.
Well, I was looking for Tylenol or something, and he was on that aisle, and he was like, blah, blah. I go, "Oh, yeah, I want the Tylenol, too. What do you think? Ask your friend." And he just looked at me and was like, "I thought we were talking."
Shut up.
Drives me nuts. Maybe I'm the ass.
Yeah.
But he's also an ass.
No, you are a big
jerk.
Yeah, you're the big jerk.
Am I the jerk?
Yeah.
Am I the jerk?
You found your people.
All right, Gordon, hit the signal. Thank you, man. We'll see you after your knee surgery here real soon.
Let's go have it together. That'll be fun.
A couple surgery.
Maybe there's couple surgery.
Yeah, you guys will hold hands. What do you have, a love operating table?
Okay.
On the same one, kind of heads touching.
Get them to human centipedus. Is that offered?
Well, I'm in, but I don't want my mouth to be tied.
No, I'll be the front. Okay. I'm the front of the
front. I'm the front.
I'm the front of that pantomime hose.
Big old
I don't know what you've heard about G, but he's with the sweet spot 1 to 3. He loves some red dirt and some Jordan speed. He's the afternoon JUB. I don't know what you've heard about G, but he's with the sweet spot 1 to 3. He loves fajitas and some UNT. He's the afternoon JUB.
That's right. Yeah. It's a little bit after 2:30 on a Tuesday. It's time for some afternoon jub, and We are graced in studio by one George
Heck yeah.
Dunham.
I mean, are we doing this or not?
We are doing this.
Do it right.
All right.
And why are you still hanging around Dallas a little bit? Usually you're up at
that's just
Dunham
me.
Manum.
That's just what
Dunham
I do. I
Manor.
just hang around Dallas a little bit. And guess what I had for lunch?
Margaritas?
Enchiladas?
Chicken fajitas.
How about
All
that?
right.
We
Chicken
go.
No lies here.
I may have fajita shirt.
Or fajita jeans.
Yeah,
Oh,
good.
that'll
Good.
stick with you. I'm pretty
Yeah,
sure
it will.
I'd
It's worth it, though.
perpetually have
Honey
fajita
Crush.
Gene.
Well,
Yep.
we have
I got it.
we have silly things to get to you with, but
Okay.
I do want to say I was in tears this morning during Musical Musers.
Oh,
On a very
Yes.
serious note, that was
Thank you.
that had to be tough to do, and I know
It was.
we get an emotional George sometimes, but you
Yeah.
had every reason to be, and I thought that was absolutely touching.
I've been waiting for almost 3 months to tell that story, and I still couldn't get through it, but I thought it was important just because, ticket stock, I talked to a number of people who have either an illness or their loved one has gone through something. And, yeah, we all go through it, and I've already received a lot of really incredibly nice messages from the P1. But the other thing was it was a significant story in my life.
Absolutely.
I mean, that goes on, the storyboard of my life is one of the coolest things ever.
And Gordo just jams it right in the ditch with horny next.
He couldn't come up with a better tease than that, but that's just kind of par for the course.
Pretty great too.
Well, with the awkward tease, and now if we can segue any way we can. Well, we were talking about off air, and we've brought it up a few times this week. We talked about it in our opening segment yesterday, but we had a lot to get to today. So Sean had a consultation with the tattoo guy yesterday
Roger.
because he said for 14 years now that whenever the Rangers win the World Series, he's getting the box score tattooed on his back.
It's amazing.
It's happening today at 5 p.m.
We're going to training or spring training next week, so we want to get it done so we can show Travis Jankowski his name on the back and everybody.
Yeah.
Bochy's back there. So you're getting it done today.
That's the plan. I found a PDF, or the Morning News sent me a PDF. I blew it up, and it's the size I want, and they're going to make a stencil out of it, and there's a lot of zeros and numbers and a lot of lines. They said like 2 hours. This is going to take a while.
Yeah,
I might miss
my
dinner
guess would be
tonight.
3 hours.
Yeah.
But I don't know anything about
Let me see.
tattoos. But that's just a lot of things to draw.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah.
It
Is
seems
that how you do it? I don't know.
kind of fast because you're kind of just writing, but you have to do it in that style where
Yeah.
it's like the Dallas Morning News.
You want the proper font.
It's probably about
Right.
14-point font, I'd
I don't
say,
know.
somewhere around there.
But it got
It's
us
going to look
thinking.
great.
Is
It got us
Mino
thinking
and
about-
Evan Grant going with you?
Huh?
Or Mino and Evan Grant going with you?
Oh,
just
to the tattoo parlor?
To the tattoo?
No.
Somebody's got to shave your back, right?
Evan's in surprise. I can call
Oh.
Norm, and he can
You
shave
should
my
do it.
back.
Oh,
Do you think he would shave your back if you asked him?
Norm?
Yeah.
absolutely
yes.
he would. Yeah.
What's he got? What's he doing?
I don't know.
He's got nothing.
You've done it before for, what was that, GBL?
Yeah.
A few years.
Around
you were,
2010, yeah.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Same
How
time
long
I
did
made
that
this.
take? Did that take 3 hours?
I mean, it's like a forest
Kinda
back
like
there.
mowing the yard.
Weed whacker.
I need a machete to get through the
Just starts bleeding.
the high rough.
That's good, pal.
But it got us thinking about all the bet payoffs you've had to endure over the
I've had a
years.
bunch.
And the ones that jumped to mind was Jeb Hawk. That was
Yeah.
relatively recent.
Yeah.
50 Shades was
yeah.
one. Living in the studio, that was my idea.
To slam deliciously.
Jub Hawk was great because you just threw that one
Yeah.
out there
Yeah.
with really no incentive.
I
You were
felt
just
so safe. They were
in
3-5. Never before in Cowboy history had they made the playoffs after losing 5 of their first 8 games. That'd be a son of a gun if they didn't rally and
they trade for Amari
get
Cooper.
in. And they trade for
And
Amari
the offense
Cooper.
wakes up.
I think you were kind of fired up to get the Jub Hawk. Were you a little excited for that when you knew it was going to happen? Because we had the day set, we had the countdown, we knew it was going to go on.
Yeah. No, I had a lot of trepidation about that. But as it turned out, my lesson I learned from that was no one really cares what your hairstyle or your beard is or if you have a tattoo on your back. We all worry about that. And I've basically had the same hairstyle since I was 4. Nobody cares. Gordo always, should I shave my beard? Okay, fine. Shave it. No one cares, really.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter.
We all think people are looking at us way more than they actually are.
Right.
Like all those
you can wear a gorilla suit. Nobody really.
Yeah.
No one everybody kind of noticed, but
all that insecurity during your youth gets baked in because you're worried about getting.
I don't
want
to be too different.
Handed to you at school.
Yeah, you shouldn't worry about it, and you got to be careful with a mustache.
You don't want it to be too.
Yeah.
You don't want a chaplain.
Right. Like the guy we saw at the Super Bowl.
Super Bowl Hitler.
SBH.
Hashtag SBH. Davey posted that.
He did.
He did look like him.
Yeah,
he really did.
And then he posted up a follow-up. Did you see the follow-up photo?
I don't know if I did
He
or
was
not.
dragging his luggage behind him, and he said war gold.
If you're that guy, or if you just kind of...
And he was everywhere. He was at every party, every press conference.
Do you think anyone's ever told him, like, dude, you kind of look like a dictator? And if you did... Like, if you did look a little bit like Hitler, like maybe like 50%.
Right.
Like, you have the mustache, but it's not the chaplain. It's full mustache, but the hair and just your kind of vibe.
Yeah.
Like, I think somebody would want. I would want someone to tell me.
Right.
If you have something like if you have a booger hanging, like
right.
I want someone to tell me.
Yes.
If I look kind of like Hitler, I want Monty to be like, bro, you kind of look like Hitler.
You're putting out some Mussolini vibes.
Yeah.
Right now.
Or if your zipper's down, we'll tell you, George.
Right. That's another one. It was down again this morning.
You good now?
Same
Did
pair.
you angle the zipper handle down?
That is, if y'all look that up,
Yeah, you lock the.
it matters.
You lock the zipper.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone thought I was crazy.
No.
You put the zipper facing down when you pull them up. Okay.
Yeah. See there.
Let's see. Okay.
And if it's up, it could go back down.
Gravity. That is a public
dumb.
fear of mine. Like when we're on stage at Ticket Stock. Like it wasn't this year because I wasn't wearing pants, but
Yeah.
like I get up there and I
The gorilla
always
suit didn't have a zipper.
It all the way up top.
Oh,
So
okay.
I had to check up there. But I feel like I'm just kind of like grabbing at my zipper to make sure it's up.
You
And if it's down, you can't win.
No, you can't just
like,
casually zip
gone
it up.
too far.
Yeah.
So we're in the middle of afternoon job, and our ticker man Lando partied with us after Time Wasters.
I saw the picture of him eating beans.
Okay.
Oh, you did. Oh,
We
you've
were gonna
seen it.
ask you.
Okay, I was wondering if you've seen this.
Have you seen my art but ticket tweet? Have you seen the Art but Sports account
Art
where they
but
take
Sports is great.
They take and they get a classic
amazing.
painting. So I
Yeah.
did that with the Lando Bean picture, and it's this. I don't know what that's from. It's just I just googled.
Why do I
someone
look?
eating?
I look like a
eating
cave
beans.
troll.
He does look like something out of I don't know.
He
Lord of
looks
the Flies or something. I don't know,
Yes.
something.
He looks like
I'm
he's about
Piggy.
to ask you a riddle.
Yes,
Don't look like he
like
was
you can't
underwater
pass
too
until
long.
you
Yeah.
answer my riddles 3.
We need Lando's riddles every day. Before we end the show, we have to answer a riddle from
You want this
Lando.
bite of food? I'm in inquisitive mood. I am Lando.
He sold the beans to me though. He made me think that those were good beans that he was eating.
They were good.
What was
Yeah.
going on? Like, were you like asking a question?
Well,
or
here's what was going. I was sitting next to
telling a joke?
Ham. That's
Yeah.
what is what
Oh,
happened.
Okay,
Yeah.
that explains
Ham's
a
going to
lot.
take the most uncomfortable picture possible. So yeah, that explains that.
Was there some brisket in there at least?
It was bacon infused.
Okay.
It was good. They were good beans.
Bacon and
beans and mead
Mead,
after Ticket Stock.
spiced ale, and beans.
Do you have a least favorite picture that people find funny?
The one that ended up on the shirt at Ticket Stock that you and Ham couldn't
I don't
get over a
remember
couple of
this.
years ago. That
Ham,
was
do
on
you know-
every screensaver up here. It was me
Oh, was it the?
looking like I may have had some special needs or something.
No, I think I remember. Yeah,
The one where I'm on with Ducey, and I think I'm just got this really dumb look on my face and look like a mummy.
Like you might have just ruined your underwear on accident.
Yeah, I may have. Yeah,
not again. It's
These
only
guys,
Tuesday.
everywhere I went in the office, that screensaver was up there of me in the studio and in there too.
Do you laugh at the Cray Tray picture like I do every single day when I look in the control
Yeah,
room?
I do.
You want to talk about
Citizen
art.
Kane Cray
That is
Tray.
amazing.
Like as good as Lando's bean photo is, Citizen
Is that black and white?
Citizen Cray Tray is.
Why is that black and white?
I don't know.
I think that's just how it printed. It's the
Oh,
ticket
okay.
He just
printer.
doesn't have any color to him.
Man, I think the Lando picture is pretty hard to beat. Do you have one, Sean?
Yeah, there's one of me rubbing my hands together on Ducey. What is it about Ducey's show?
I don't know.
And I'm making like this weird look on my face like I'm really dastardly or something.
There was that one in the picture of me and Hala in Miami.
Oh yeah.
I hated that one too.
Why?
I don't
They
know.
were dressed the same.
Pretty much. We look like two
Cowboy
homeless
cheerleaders.
guys who smelled like ground beef, hugging each other.
Well, Mino has homework for you, and it's
Okay.
for me too because I haven't seen this movie. But next week we want to break this whole thing down.
Okay.
Have you seen the movie Strays?
No.
It is a.
Oh wait,
it's a live action animal movie, but
just like Chris Rock and
it's Jamie Foxx.
It's a different black
Jamie Foxx.
comedian.
Sorry.
Yeah. It's gonna.
Okay,
We'll move on. Will Ferrell is the main dog,
Yeah.
and
It's talking
Will
animals,
Arnett.
though.
Yeah,
It's talking animals.
and
Yes.
it is dirty. It
Yeah.
is very dirty and hilarious.
Okay.
I watched. It was on Peacock at first because it was. I watched it after the Chiefs game that was on there in the divisional round. I was like, I'll watch this Strays movie. Laughed my ass off.
I remember when the previews came out. I was like, God, I got to see that.
And if you're a dog person, I won't spoil anything. Most dog movies, there's a dog that dies and it's sad. No dogs die.
Okay.
I'll tell you that.
Okay, good.
But it does make you kind of emotional.
Really?
Yeah. Like it has. It's
I'll
stupid
hit
as
me.
hell, but it makes you feel something too. It's good. Justin's seen it.
It's like a John
I think he
Hughes
enjoyed it.
movie.
From the makers of Cocaine Bear and 21 Jump Street.
Okay,
All
21
bangers.
Jump Street was funny.
Yeah,
I never saw a Cocaine Bear, believe it or not.
Really?
No.
Yeah, it's on. What did we say? It's on Amazon
Prime.
now.
Prime Video.
It's free, so you can.
So Thursday Night Football.
Hour and a half.
Have I ever given you the storyboard for My Bear movie?
No.
No, but
Go on.
please do.
Okay, well, we went to this dude's house, my kids and I did, and this was only like 4 or 5 years ago. And he had gone to Alaska, and he shot a Kodiak Brown. It was 9 feet tall, and he had him stuffed. And all I could do looking at this bear was think, could you imagine him at defensive tackle? I told it to my son, and we started laughing about it, and man, we storyboarded it out. He dominates so much, but he's, he doesn't like kill people. He doesn't use his teeth or his paws, but he learned football at a young age, and he's really good. And then Goodell has to come down and say that the Bears can only, he plays for the Bears.
Okay.
That he can only
He was a
play.
cowboy, he'd line up offsides all the time.
Right, yeah. It wouldn't work. They wouldn't take him because he wasn't their definition of a 3 technique. So he went to Chicago.
Some red
Not a
flags.
scheme fit.
He and Khalil Mack get along really great.
Zimmer
And-
wasn't the D coordinator yet, so they didn't want a big
right. Yeah.
defensive
See, it
line.
almost writes itself. And so Goodell said that no, that you can only use him 20 plays a game. And the Chicago fans just couldn't wait, till it was 4th and short, and boom, 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 boom. Here comes the bear.
And he blows up the tush push.
Yeah, and he blows it up. Nobody can stop it until he lined up at defensive tackle. Okay, we're off to a good start.
Okay.
What does Monty think? Thumbs up? I know Ham loves it.
I'd watch that movie.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
So I'm kind of curious about the Bears' accessories. Is he wearing gloves to make sure?
Like a neck roll?
Yeah, like he got the old
See
the
there?
Dexter
I'm gonna write
Coakley
that down.
neck roll.
Neck roll. Make sure
What
he
his
has a neck
face
roll.
mask looks like. The plays you put him in.
He's got a huge cage.
Okay.
Or maybe
Save
he
him for
doesn't. Maybe
third
he has
downs.
a single bar and the snout goes out between the single bar
What
and
if the snoot is offside and it cost him the game? The people of
Yeah,
Chicago
look at the
revolt.
replay here.
And he's playing at Soldier Field, so you just see the breath. Like,
Oh, yeah. Wouldn't it be great? He walks off the bus.
They're
Got
calling
his-
him soft because he's wearing sleeves.
He's got his headphones on.
He's throwing around
We
Trent
did have that
Williams.
on there.
Man,
He's got Dre's.
we got to work on this. This is awesome.
Okay.
Man, I think that
All
was a
right.
good segment,
So
Judd.
next
man.
week, Strays.
Okay, Strays
with
by
Afternoon
next
Jug.
week.
Yes.
Okay, can't wait.
So it's 2:50. Judd, you can stick around if you want because we have some Why Today Doesn't Suck.
Bob doesn't like it if I stick around. and
We'll
get in
find
the
out
way.
next.
Once again, The Ticket presents Why Today Doesn't Suck.
This guy sucks.
And now, here are your hosts, Sean Bass and David Mino.
Sweet Spot. Special thanks to Jub for Afternoon Jub.
In person.
In person, it was awesome. And at 2:58, it's ham time.
Thank you, Mino. Eatsies Market and Bakery and GiveMeTheVin.com brings you someone I would also not have sex with, Monty.
Damn it. It's another one.
Did you hear this story, Corby?
Well,
No.
Just had a lady P1 come up to me and give me a nice compliment sandwich. She said, "Think you're funny? I would never F you, and I like your NBA talk."
Well, which is I say the same thing to Justin every week.
Why does anyone have to include that?
Yeah, I don't know, but she wanted to just go ahead and make sure that I knew.
Into your face?
Directly to my face.
See, my theory is she wanted him. That's why she brought it up. She was being flirty because she's thought about it.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah. I didn't know how to react, so I just slowly wheeled away.
I would absolutely blink your brains out.
Thank you, Sean. I'm glad I got one in my corner.
Well,
where was that from?
You know,
today.
That's today.
Now I got a tattoo to aim for.
Wah wah.
Yeah, you do.
All right, we say hello to the hard line. Bob, Corby, Dave. They're here. We're
Bob.
chilling.
Corby.
Dave.
Wah wah.
We tried to get George to stay. The hard line said, "We're afternoon drive, bub. You want to go ahead and head on out? We got it."
There's no chance we would ever say that sort of thing.
He claimed he needed sleep.
He looked like he needed sleep.
I thought he looked great. All right,
both can be true.
Again.
Today is Tuesday, February 27th, the 58th day of 2024.
It's leap year, you know.
There are 308 days left in the year. On this date, in 1922, the U.S. Supreme Court unanimously upholds the 19th Amendment to the U.S. Constitution.
That's right.
Which was the women's right to vote. So someone must have been like, "You guys sure?
Sounds like you booed that at first, Ham.
We sure we want this?"
I thought it was the drinking one.
You know, I like what you were doing with the Second Amendment, but I don't know about this one.
We've strayed too far.
Is it weird that my grandma, there was a time where she couldn't vote?
All right.
Or
just how it was.
Or drink at the same time.
But then they put the woke in We Woka.
They totally did. That's why I'm so woke.
Your grandpa was able to vote, but he was busy watching Roadhouse.
Yeah, he didn't want to go down to the votatorium.
And if she tried to vote now and Larry David brought her water, he would get in trouble.
Mm-hmm. Go to jail.
Some things change, some things never do. It's 19...
Bless you.
Well said, Monty.
Nazi Germany's parliament building, the Reichstag, was destroyed by a fire.
Greatness.
The Reichstag.
Just waiting for it.
Lando's just looking in there like, go ahead.
No, he's happy it got destroyed. It's greatness.
It is, yes. Thank you, Corby.
It was possibly set by the Nazis so they could blame and kill Dutch communist Marinus van der Lubbe.
Vanderlube.
I like listening to Lando tickers while looking at the Lando bean picture.
If he's earning his beans,
Yes.
you're watching him earn them. On this date, 1935, at the 7th Academy Awards ceremony.
Are you saying we pay him in beans?
That's what he requested in his writer.
Yeah. Do we have my contract?
Do we have our riddle of the day so we can pass?
No, not yet.
At the 7th annual Oscars, 6-year-old Hollywood star Shirley Temple received the first ever kid-sized Oscar. The trophy was half the height of a full-sized Oscar. There's just no way she could hold a real one.
Right.
Got to make a tiny little Oscar for her.
It's like if a woman won the Heisman and they had to give the mini Heisman
A
to
little
him.
lady Heisman.
Yeah, a little girl.
She could fit in her little purse.
Little doll.
But that's how bad the Oscars were back then, that a 6-year-old could win it.
When did she die?
I think she made it to old age.
She's dead, right?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I was a big fan of her drink when I was a kid.
But her drink lives on.
Yeah,
She died in 2014. Right?
Wow. You were alive when Shirley Temple was alive.
Yeah,
dude.
You could have
I
had
was
that.
working with you guys.
Right.
That was like my first week on the hard
Did
line.
you watch Rolando
You know what
McClain
she
play?
has she has in common with Abraham Lincoln?
What's
No.
He was shot in the temple.
that? Surely you don't mean that.
All right.
Anybody else? Or you just going to let Stockton and Malone work the chord here? I guess I could have picked a better duo than those two, but
Wah, wah.
I call Stockton, I guess. We have to pick between those two.
Yeah.
I'm Malone.
On this date in 1951, the 22nd Amendment was ratified, limiting U.S. presidents to just 2 terms.
Need to repeal that one.
That one pretty good, too.
Yeah. Let Trump do it till he dies.
Yeah.
In 1959,
All right, Secedman.
the Boston Celtics beat the Lakers 173-139.
Sports.
In that game, 7 NBA records would fall, one of which was most points in a half with 90. That has since been broken. Do you know what is the current record for most NBA points scored by a team in a half?
The Dallas Mavericks against the LA Clippers a couple years ago on that Sunday afternoon before the Cowboy game.
Incorrect.
Okay. Screw me.
He was so sure of himself, though.
They had like a 50-point lead at halftime.
Yeah. That's a good guess.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah.
What is it like?
Yeah.
Is it 90?
Yeah.
Well, 90 was the one that
That's-
happened in 1959.
Yeah.
So it's
It has
more?
been broken since then.
Yes, it's more.
In the year 1990, the Phoenix Suns scored 107 points in the first half against Denver.
Wow.
Wah, wah.
Love NBA. Good stuff. In 1974, the First People magazine went on sale.
So that Mavs Clippers game at halftime, it was 77-27.
God. Did they win?
They did.
Nobody watched it.
Nope. We watched the first half. In the second half, not so much.
On this date in 1980, the first and final Grammy for Best Disco Recording was awarded to Gloria Gaynor's I Will Survive.
It's a good song.
In 2006, former Newark Eagles co-owner Effa Manley became the first woman elected to the Baseball Hall of Fame.
Yay!
Pretty funny name.
We had an AMA request for Dave to sing Mandingo from Sinead O'Connor.
And did he do it?
And he did it.
Good.
Mandinka, not Mandingo.
Because from what I understand, we do the show for the P1s. Not each other. In 2015, 70s glam rocker Gary Glitter, a.k.a. Paul Gadd, was sentenced to 16 years in prison for various child sex convictions.
I will say, Rock and Roll Part 2
prison?
still slaps.
Boogaloo.
Has everybody gotten
Still
away from that
slaps.
at this point?
Yeah.
Feels like that was a gold song or
well,
an
they
arena
play
song.
it. They played at Mavs games after the last time out in the fourth quarter.
Really?
Last
How does it
away
go?
timeout. Rock and Roll Part 2.
I would
In
probably know
support
it if
of
I heard it.
pedophiles.
Yes.
You know the song, Monty.
I'm saying I probably do, but I would need to hear it.
Play it,
Lando.
man.
No way.
Lando, play
Lando.
it. Sing it.
Hey!
Let's call the 4-year-old.
The hell out of you. You.
All right, in 2018, Barbra Streisand revealed she had cloned
There
her
it
dog
is. Oh.
twice.
Boy, this is Chicago
Just let
Stadium.
Babs do what she wants.
1992 here.
Stay out of her way.
You're not close enough to her to call her Babs.
You don't know that.
This is a heater.
6th grade or 4th.
They're like, Gary, you're going to have to change the lyrics. But...
So, high school days, huh?
Ticket stock next year.
6th grade. I don't care if she's menstruating.
Hold on.
Hidden lyrics.
Whoa.
Hey, 6th grade.
In 2020, the U.S. stocks posted their worst one-day drop since 2011 as
Maybe
markets
fourth.
plummeted among
Maybe
growing
second.
anxiety about the coronavirus.
Oh. Whoops.
No, it's not funny, is it?
Yeah, we learned that the
Welcome
coronavirus won the 2020 NCAA tournament.
Oh, yeah.
It did.
Probably the NIT as well.
I think the jokes were still funny at this point. It was up until March. That's
Yeah,
when it was like,
whenever
it was
Boban went
hilarious
for
right
30.
now.
It was.
When Boban went for 30 and the NBA got shut down.
That was it.
This is real.
And Tom Hanks.
Right.
Yeah, when Tim Hawks
Everybody got mad at Rudy Gobert.
We were upset. All right, we got a couple of P1 birthdays here. Dear Monty, I'd like to wish Patrick Fagan a belated happy birthday. His leaders,
I don't think you pronounced that correctly.
How would I pronounce it?
Dave.
If you want to make it a verb.
No, go ahead.
Patrick Fagan, happy belated birthday. His leaders are Corby, Ham, and Rich Dalrymple's phone.
Oh, no.
He'd like to hear a Line 4 guy joke.
Almost forgot about that.
Well, I'm out here on the golf course, Monty. I'm not sure I have one. Well, these two guys are approaching the last green, and one guy takes a shot, hits a nice shot in. Second guy's looking at his shot, looking over it really hard, right? It's about 115 yards. You're looking at it really hard. The clubhouse is in back. All the people are watching. The guy says, I really want to be careful on the shot. My wife is watching. And the guy playing with him says, well, I'll tell you what, you might as well hit the shot. There's no way you're going to hit her from here.
Yes.
It's mixing Dombi and golf. How about it?
First time that's ever happened, huh?
Hey! It's great. All right, birthdays today. Ralph Nader is 90. Neil Sean.
Journey.
Of Journey, 70. Actor Timothy Spall is 67. He was in the Harry Potter movies. Adrian Smith, guitarist for Iron Maiden, also 67.
Hell yeah.
Johnny Van Zant of Lynyrd Skynyrd, 65. Noah Emmerich from The Americans. He was the neighbor. Is 59.
Golf updates.
Also the neighbor on the Truman Show, right?
Yes.
That played Truman?
Yes. And he was in The Walking Dead as well. Charles Baker is 53. He was Skinny Pete in Breaking Bad.
Yes. Man. In studio guest. Been in studio.
Right?
Yeah.
He cut that pizza up.
Wonder what he's doing.
I really wanted to put the clip of him and Badger talking about the Star Trek fan fiction, but it was just too long.
It was basically 15 minutes on bad radio of asking him if he knew Badger.
In real life.
I believe in back-to-back days we had Skinny Pete on and then Bryan Cranston on like the next day.
What?
We get it.
This is why no one likes you.
You guys had Skinny Pete?
It means
Skinny
Cranston.
Pete, he's been on screen for 7 minutes.
Oh, yeah?
We vacationed with Cranston.
Well, Minu and I had Finn on, so take that. Walt
Did you
Jr.
get him some breakfast?
Although he was upset that I took his parking spot.
Me, Cranston, and Chickless were on a yacht in the south of France.
We were out there to meet Dave Grohl.
And Probst.
Yeah.
Super Chef Bobby Flay.
Eddie Vedder.
Isby. Josh Groban, 43.
Isby.
Oh, I'm a Grobanite.
Kate Mara, 41.
Hey now.
Jay Wow from the Jersey Shore, 39.
God, what's that look like?
Big old fakers.
Not bad, though.
And Daniel Paulovich, drummer for Panic at the Disco, 37. Also turning 37 today, actor Kyle Mason, who has been in over 1,500 movies.
God, like, he has to be the most prolific actor.
You're probably right.
Way to go.
He's done a lot of wienering.
Prolific effer.
Sir, how are you so prolific?
All right, the world's most prolific effer was in movies such as Ain't No Lovin' Like Your Cousin.
God.
Bob, Very Adult Wednesday Addams 3. Also,
I need to plow through that.
I Detect an Ass That Wants Training.
Mm-hmm.
He was also in She Can't Find Out I'm Gay.
What's that one about?
That's one where they
it's
give
very
it away.
suspense.
They give it away in the trailer.
How's she going to find out?
Well, when she realizes that I am not doing it with her. All right, sports birthdays. James Worthy, 63.
Surely he can dunk still.
I hated when I had to drop this guy in fantasy football. Deuce Staley, 49.
Ole Miss. No ribs.
Tony Gonzalez, 48.
Drop right there.
Greatness.
Former Maverick great and current Mavs broadcaster Devin Harris, 41.
Also greatness.
Badger.
Giovanni Gallardo, former Ranger, 38.
Fort Worth's own, also greatness.
Bob Sean Strickland, 33.
Oh, really? Well, he took his L last month.
Born to Stay Now Dead.
DDP took him down.
John Steinbeck.
Nope.
The auteur.
The one who really fights.
Who wrote Grapes of Wrath and Of Mice and Men. Charles Strite, who invented the pop-up toaster.
Good invention.
The woman that has the whole package. Elizabeth Taylor.
Elizabeth Taylor.
And down to Stay Still Dead, Louis Vuitton, who founded Louis Vuitton. Fred Rogers, a.k.a. Mr. Rogers, and Leonard Nimoy. Spock. Who died of COPD.
Like a pinch on the neck from Mr. Spock.
And that's why today doesn't suck.
That's a good job, Monto. It's a good job.
man.
Happy birthday, Patrick Fagan. Love you, brother.
Hi, Justin. I like you, but there's things I won't do.
And here he is, ladies and gentlemen, live. It's Dave.
Gen X Davey.
Thank you. Well, Taylor Swift is about to get out of Australia. She's about to head to Singapore for 6 shows in Singapore. And I guess Kelsey's going to still be with her. I don't know. But this is not about Travis Kelce. This is about Taylor Swift's dad, Scott Swift.
Scott Swift.
Who is fast bros with Trav.
Yeah.
Like, they really like each other.
I couldn't tell. I mean, does he go to all the shows?
Yeah. He's always on tour with her, I believe.
Okay. Because I saw she changed the lyrics to some song, including, and made it about, in the Kansas City tight end, whatever. I don't know what song it was, but like, they showed him and the dad, Kelsey and the dad, and Kelsey like covered his face like, oh my God, no, she did not. I love this song. I'm like, dude, you're like you really get, that does it for,
He's playing it up for the Swifties who are all taking videos of him because they know she's about to do it, so they're all training their cameras on him.
God, what an army they are.
Yeah. So, Scott Swift has been accused of assaulting a paparazzi in Australia.
A paparazzi. Is that how it's...
What do you?
That's interesting. No, I've never thought of it.
Is it a paparazzo?
Yeah, paparazzo.
Yeah.
The singular of paparazzi is a paparazzo.
I'm an Italian by default.
Thank you.
I mean, who could tell?
Might as well be. What's the difference at this point?
This is my friend Corby. He's Italian.
He's also Chinese.
Yeah. He's like totally a Mexican.
No disrespect.
So a spokesperson said 2 individuals, this is from the Swift camp. They said 2 individuals were aggressively pushing their way towards Taylor, grabbing at her security personnel, and threatening to throw a female staff member into the water. Because this was as they were disembarking a boat at a wharf in Sydney, or New South Wales.
Bork.
And so...
No, Worf.
From Star Trek.
Yeah. And so a spokesperson for the police department confirmed, they say police have been told a 71-year-old man, Scott Swift, allegedly assaulted a 51-year-old man.
Wait, how old is Scott Swift?
71.
Okay.
Assaulted a 51-year-old man at Neutral Bay Wharf about 2:30 a.m.
Wharf.
The younger man reported the incident, and inquiries are now underway by officers. The man did not require medical treatment. So the photographer's side of the story, his name is Ben McDonald. He said that Taylor Swift got off the boat. She walked towards security guards who were shoving umbrellas in the paparazzi's faces to get them out of the way. And then Scott Swift charged.
Like bull.
Yeah. And he said, originally I thought he was a security guard. I was shocked when I realized that he was her dad. So who knows what really happened, but evidently Scott Swift does not have patience for the paparazzo or paparazzi.
I can't blame him. Can't blame him. If that was my daughter and they're getting all after her in whatever way, then you'd be defensive. But if you're a paparazzo and you're in your 40s and a 71-year-old is kicking your ass, are you kind of like, golly, I'm pretty lame.
Right. What am I doing with my life?
Norm is taking his gorilla cane and just beating the crap out of you with it.
Meanwhile, in Santa Fe, the trial of...
Settle down, Norm.
I love enraged, laughing, maniacal Norm. Yeah.
The trial of the Rust Armorer, Hannah Gutierrez-Reed, is ongoing. And they had testimony from the dolly grip on the production of Rust, a guy named Ross Diego. And so he faulted Gutierrez-Reed for leaving guns and ammunition unsecured, saying that she was nothing like the uptight, anal retentive armorers he had encountered over most of his 30-year career.
Mm-hmm.
He
probably needs to be on the resume. I'm uptight and anal.
Yes. She wasn't necessarily as serious or professional as I'm accustomed to, he said. I don't know I've ever seen an armorer just pull loose ammo out of a fanny pack.
Oh, no.
So
throw that in there.
Things were not very well cataloged.
Right.
And
there's no doubt. We already talked about her being a total stoner, too.
Right.
Like that her one-hitter was mixed in there in the fanny pack. You want this? Oh, crap. Hang on.
Yeah, and that, the safety checks were not conducted, that when you're handing a gun to an actor, you're supposed to look down the barrel, you're supposed to look in all the chambers, you're supposed to rattle the bullets to make sure that they are not live rounds.
Once again, though,
you're supposed to look down the barrel, huh?
Like going back to all the original argument about an armorer having to be on set, I just still can't figure out why you don't have a gun made of soap. It doesn't need any of that stuff. And you look at, when it's time for you to shoot, you go, pew, 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 and then they go in and they dub the real sounds.
Right. I mean,
you make your own fun mouth sounds.
I think we had the story after this came out that The Rock, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, that he only uses rubber guns on his sets. He doesn't even allow real guns.
Which, again, I don't understand. You can do this. Movie magic has been going on for Star Wars.
Right. Those aren't real lasers.
They're not. They're not real lasers. That is, have you seen the Skywalker Ranch video of how they got that sound? Of them hitting...
like a cable, right?
Yes, a cable that ran up to a telephone pole.
Yeah.
And like they're hitting it with a wrench, and they found the perfect sound for it. Or even when Vader's voice was originally voiced by this really uptight white British man. I'll tell you one thing, Skywalker, I won't stand for this. And then the movie's done, and they go back in and they get big James Earl Jones to do it, and you can do anything you want.
He said that the entire set was rushed and in a state of chaos, and that there was too little time to accomplish anything. And he placed some of the blame on Alec Baldwin, saying that Baldwin was pushing the crew to move quickly and that everyone on the set deferred to Alec Baldwin. So this is not Baldwin's trial. His trial has been set, I believe, for July, but definitely will affect the way that plays out.
Yeah.
A bit of casting news. Are you guys fans of Only Murders in the Building?
Yeah, I've watched season 1. I need to watch the other seasons, but...
Yes, when I've tried it, I've enjoyed it, but I just never kept going.
My wife loves it.
I'm a big fan.
Yeah.
I enjoy it quite a bit. Well, season 4 is going to be the most star-studded to date, as they have announced Eugene Levy.
Of Schitt's Creek, Bob.
Yes.
Bingo.
Nope.
He is going to join the cast in a recurring role. He joins previously announced season 4 cast members Ava Longoria and Molly Shannon. Of course, the three leads.
Molly Shannon so much.
The three leads, Steve Martin, Martin Short, and Selena Gomez, are back, and Meryl Streep is going to come back from her season 3 role.
That is it feels like a lot of money on that set.
Yeah. I mean, I guess it's a successful enough show that it has made quite a bit of money.
I'm just glad
for Hulu
that Steve Martin and Martin Short found comedic vehicles that really, really work at their age, because that's pretty rare.
Do you know the dark skeleton that is in the closet of the Ticket's own Don Henley?
Yeah, there was a rumor that
That's a hardline zone.
floated around in the 70s about a 15-year-old that...
Close.
Okay.
So he was arrested in 1980 after authorities found drugs and a naked 16-year-old girl suffering from an overdose at his home in L.A.
Yeah. Is that true?
Yes.
Okay.
It is true. And so he is in New York. Don Henley's in New York testifying at a criminal trial where 3 collectibles dealers are charged with conspiring to sell handwritten lyrics to Hotel California and other Eagles songs without the right to do so, that they somehow got these handwritten lyrics by some illicit means, and they're trying to sell them and profit off of them.
What does this have to do with the girl?
Well, so the defense was going to ask Henley about this, to talk about his decision-making and his lifestyle and how he may have ended up misplacing these lyrics, and he's just kind of a wheels-off rock and roll star, and how can we believe anything he says? So the prosecution, Henley's attorney, tried to beat them to the punch and brought it up in court. And so Henley's having to relive all of this stuff.
Oh, my God. Did that girl die?
No.
Okay.
So he told the court that he called for a sex worker that night because he wanted to escape the depression he was in over the breakup of the Eagles. And that he says, I wanted to forget about everything that was happening with the band. I made a poor decision, which I regret to this day. I have had to live with it for 44 years. I'm still living with it today in this courtroom. Poor decision. It was a very poor decision,
Bad decision, coach.
Yeah. So he testified he didn't know that she was 16 until after he was arrested, and that he went to bed with her, but he didn't have sex with her. He says, I don't remember the anatomical details, but I know there was no sex. He just said they did coke together and talked for hours about the breakup of the band and her being estranged from her family. They were commiserating together.
Boy, has he ever mentioned this at all?
I don't know.
And is it worth it? Like, Don Henley is...
Like, do you really want those lyrics that bad?
I know.
Right.
Don Henley is worth hundreds and hundreds of millions of dollars. But he's always been on the forefront, whether it's Napster or anything. If somebody has what he thinks is his, then he will speak out about it. So,
condolences to the Wilson family.
Yes. So
Indeed.
So she ended up overdosing. He called firefighters, and they come to the house. They find her to be okay. But then, because she was nude and young, the paramedics called police. Police arrive. They find cocaine, quaaludes, and marijuana. And so Henley, in 1981, pled no contest to a misdemeanor charge of contributing to the delinquency of a minor.
Misdemeanor?
Yeah. So anyway, he's having to have this all drug out.
He's a rock and roll guy.
Yeah.
Misdemeanor, stamp, free.
All right, and lastly, we have another lawsuit filed against Sean Diddy P. Diddy Combs.
Mm-hmm.
He's facing another legal battle, this time from a male employee, Rodney Lil Rod Jones. He was a producer. He filed this yesterday in the Southern District of New York. He says that Diddy made unwanted sexual advances, forced him to hire sex workers, and engage in relations with them. He's seeking $30 million. But he says that Combs would use and distribute ecstasy, cocaine, and other drugs, display firearms, and spike drinks that were given to underage hangers-on. He says that he lived with Combs from September of 2022 to November of 23, and that he was subject to constant, unsolicited, and unauthorized groping and touching of his anus.
Whoops.
And that he, at one point, was forced
Why would anyone want to do that?
He was forced to work in Diddy's bathroom as Diddy was showering. He said he was told that was Diddy's way of showing that he likes you, letting him watch him shower.
Yeah.
And among some other claims that he was drugged and he woke up naked in bed with Combs and 2 sex workers, had no recollection of what happened, that he was forced to watch a video of Stevie J, a musician, engaging in sex with another man, and that he was introduced to Cuba Gooding Jr., and that Cuba Gooding Jr. physically groped and fondled him.
That seems to be a pattern with that guy. All right, good stuff, Dave.
Get the Steak Podcast at patreon.com/sportsgreek.
And here's Dave.
Thank you so very much. So, Texas Attorney General Ken Paxton is back in court. Not over anything he did this time. He is suing the parent company of Pornhub.
Why would he do that?
He is seeking an injunction to force Pornhub's parent company to implement an age verification system in compliance with a law that was passed last year by the Texas legislature. House Bill 1181.
Are they based in Texas?
No, but in order to operate, I guess, within Texas, House Bill 1181 requires ages to be verified using a government ID or appropriate digital identification, not just the pop-up that says, "Are you over 18?"
Oh,
yes.
Wait, I'm very confused. I thought you were talking about from the actors and actresses.
No.
Just if you're on there.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is to protect minors from being exposed to pornographic material online.
They already have to deal with their lungs and working in the dark all the time.
Pickaxe, all of it.
So the House Bill 1181 requires pornography sites to verify that users are at least 18 years old and also display public health warnings about the potential harm of viewing pornography.
Okay, so
just
the first one is independent of the second one.
Yes, that you have to have a digital age verification process. So I guess that you would have to upload a picture of your driver's license to look at porn.
Okay. Mm-hmm. So you just hold your driver's license up to your little camera.
Already subscribed.
And you're in their registry.
And then you have to look at a Surgeon General's warning about the harm of viewing pornography.
You have to take a quick human resources course.
Right. Don't try this with your wife or girlfriend.
No.
What a beating. You have to do DEI training every time you log onto the website.
Would that affect business for them? You get like a 30-minute little quiz.
Affect business with me.
I'd fight through it, but I wouldn't be happy.
I mean, I understand he's going after porn.
No, you would not.
I understand he's going after Pornhub because they're like the biggest one out there. But there are billions. There are billions of porn sites.
It's like we got El Chapo? Great. Thank God the drug trade's over.
It's whack-a-mole, so to speak.
Right.
Well, what we needed, I don't know if you realize this, but it's an election year. And what we need is something to...
someone to stand tall.
We need some planks on that platform.
We needed to fire up the culture wars as best we could, and this was the low-hanging
It's a great
fruit.
idea. Great idea.
Stupid bitch.
Texas has the right to protect its children from the detrimental effects of pornographic content.
You know what he should do? He should make sure that he speaks on this while on the border.
Right?
Not the Mexican food place.
That'd be like Four Seasons landscaping. It'd be a weird spot for a press conference.
Oh, I have a question. Are they still on the borders?
Yes.
Yes.
They're off the...
Okay. I've not been to
What
one
was
in
the slogan?
so long.
On the border.
Off the map.
Off the map.
Yeah.
You guys go there?
Oh, yeah.
Well, I heard it's not
For real?
secure.
Yeah. We can't afford
I don't think
expensive places like
I don't think
It's
there's
Mexican food. It's all cheap.
I don't think there's one in Dallas anymore. But they're in the burbs.
There is one in Fort Worth.
I heard millions are crossing every day.
They are.
In an unrelated
To get to on the
story,
border.
Eat your baby.
In an unrelated story, Texas law enforcement busted a cockfighting ring in progress. This past Saturday morning in Navarro County.
Saturday morning?
Yes.
So late night, probably.
Yeah, I guess.
It wasn't like a 5 a.m. cockfight, yoga and cockfight.
Yeah, it was sunrise cockfighting. So the Navarro County Sheriff Office deputies made a surprise visit to a cockfight in progress.
Cheapest sound effect.
In Purdon. You know where Purdon is?
No, I don't even know where Navarro County is. Do y'all? No?
West.
DJ, I feel like you should know.
I think Navarro County's like Ennis area, maybe? I could be wrong.
The anus?
Sounds good.
Look that up, Deej.
There was a fighting ring, live and deceased birds, and other evidence to support cockfighting.
I don't think so.
So here's...
I just don't...
And we dumped it, too. We caught it in time.
I don't think so.
We salute you, but it just can't.
There was a cockfighting ring.
Yes. Then why did you leave out a word?
He knows what he's doing.
Well, yeah. No, he doesn't. That's the problem. He doesn't know what he's doing. You keep leaving words out.
And knowing what he's doing.
Very important
he doesn't know what he's doing.
They're like, yes.
The most important words.
Yes.
He forgets them all the time.
By the way...
Oh my. Who goes to the... Why is there still cockfighting?
Cockfighting is a felony in Texas, and even just watching it.
Yes.
Spectating is a Class C misdemeanor.
Bob, do you recommend parlaying cockfights?
No, I do not.
Okay.
I do not.
All right.
Obviously.
Another animal story. So in Arlington...
This is awesome, by the way.
There is a natural area in Arlington called the Crystal Canyon Natural Area. And so they have, I guess, a lot of underbrush and invasive plants. And so they wanted to clear this area to, I guess, all of the streams and creeks in the area. They wanted to make sure those were unblocked. They also wanted to reduce the risk of wildfires. So they partnered with a company to bring in hundreds of goats.
Yeah.
Because goats can basically eat their weight in brush in a day. And so they had these hundreds of goats, but they got loose.
They broke out of they had an enclosure, so they brought how many goats?
Hundreds.
Okay.
Like 450.
All right, Bob, I want you to take a look at this because they broke out of their enclosure as they're trying to clear the brush. They ended up in an Arlington neighborhood. Dude, these houses are huge.
Yeah, this is a ritzy
This is an elite.
This is a ritzy part of Arlington near Brown Boulevard and Winding Hollow Lane.
Tell me what you see there, Bob.
Oh, wow.
Look at all those goats.
It's a gang of goats.
Arlington police had to shut down Brown Boulevard and wrangle the animals back into their enclosure. Here's a little body cam audio of the officers trying. No, that's not. It's not actual body cam audio. Here we go.
Who knew we were goat wranglers now?
They're herding them down Brown Boulevard.
This is a major thoroughfare in Arlington.
Thing I've ever... Come on, goats.
Like they're treating them like dogs. Here, goat.
Keep on moving.
Yeah, as they just stop in the middle of the road.
Brown Boulevard is a 2-lane or 4-lane beast of a road. And they're just running all the way down it. Poor goats.
But all the goats were accounted for. None of the goats were harmed.
How did they get them back? What did they end up doing?
They just ran behind them, clapping their hands, herding them.
To where, though? Back
to the enclosure.
They ran all the way back?
Yeah.
Whoa. Wow.
And finally, we have the oldest living Texan. Did you see this?
Is she just the oldest living Texan or oldest living human?
Well, she was the oldest living Texan.
Mm-hmm.
Now, she is the oldest living person in the U.S.
Wow.
Right here in the state. All right,
Yes.
Bob, you take a guess. How old is she?
106.
Lando?
Let's get her on.
I'm looking at it right now.
Ah, you bitch. DJ? Not her, not the girl, you.
200 years old.
Okay.
Conservatively, maybe 112.
Do you know?
I've seen it.
Okay. Elizabeth Francis of Houston is 114.
Wow.
She is the 5th oldest.
Way to go, Matt.
Supercentenarian in the world. So that's someone 110 or older. So she's the 5th oldest person
Is that a Marvel
in the world.
character?
Supercentenarian?
Yeah.
Like the worst superhero ever?
Just laying there.
There's a chance I would go see that movie.
So earlier this month, 116-year-old in California, Edie Cesarelli, passed away.
Hey.
And so that means now that Elizabeth Francis is the oldest living person in the U.S. So she was born in Louisiana, July 25th, 1909.
Damn.
She was born 11 years before women had the right to vote. And she was born just a few months after William Howard Taft was inaugurated.
Okay, so the photo that they used in the morning news, Bob, I'll show you. She looks remarkable. Is anyone that age?
Yeah, she could do the show.
And she's quoted in there. She still has her wits, but she's kind of just laying there. They put her in a real nice dress and pearls.
What
and
are
all
you
that.
expecting?
Want her working out?
Yeah,
What do you want her to pose?
Bench pressing?
She began
Doing the 40?
requiring a wheelchair at the age of 108.
Okay.
And you said soft.
Yeah.
No,
You want her at like the 50-yard line at AT&T? What do you want?
Yeah, bring her to the combine.
Let's see her hit a sled.
kicking field goals. Yeah. I don't know.
Can she push a sled?
Now, she gave birth to her only child, a daughter named Dorothy, in 1928.
Good
Oh, my God.
Lord.
And she moved in with her daughter in 1999. I don't see if her daughter's still alive, but she has 3 grandchildren, 5 great-grandchildren, and 4 great-great-grandchildren.
So she has a daughter who would be 97 this year.
Yes.
Or 96.
Yes.
Wow.
Can you imagine being 97 and your mom is still alive? What kind of... That is so weird.
I'm in good honor, though. She's a great Texan. She was presented with a plaque to honor her as the oldest living Texan.
Has anyone celebrated a child turning 100?
Interesting. Yeah, I bet you someone has lived to be 115 that had a kid.
Like Moses, probably.
At 15.
Yeah, in the era where being that old was a thing.
Era.
People seem to have kids at an earlier age than 30.
Right. Like
or
51.
Dave, is there...
Will I be alive when Wells turns 100?
I don't like your chances.
How badass would that be?
What, if Dave's 150?
151.
Well, maybe on like Cyborg Dave.
Yeah, maybe we'll find a way.
He's in a jar.
Yeah, just...
Yeah, my Ted Williams head.
Just stuffed in there. His whole body.
Still farts.
Dave, he still farts. Every time you open the jar,
Yeah, I'm just a head and an anus.
All right, well, congratulations.
Yeah, Dave.
She's the P1 of the day, Elizabeth Francis.
And to her.
Get her on, DJ.